We can finally continue, but it won't be that long. Does that get to chapter 6? Or section 6? Whatever it's called. Oh, welcome back. Well done. Accomplishing the mission. I owe it to everyone who pitched in. Which must mean there were others on the site besides MASH. We couldn't monitor from our side, so I'd like to hear the details. But for now, you should probably watch these images first. Here you have the results of our operation on screen. A gate up in the sky, so that must be JP-rKyECtnz. Yes, it's looking different from the JP-rKyECtnz we knew from the control room. But the observation by Shiva all corresponds. There's no doubt that it's simulated global environment, model JP-rKyECtnz. For the fantasy tree, JP-rKyECtnz is probably not a bad target since the appearance of the gate. Their text subseas. Be that as it may, there is no guarantee the standoff will continue forever. Currently, all the computer room staff are calculating the course to take and passing through the gate. As soon as we can form a space-time membrane strong enough to withstand this shock and ensure safe navigation, this vessel will plunge into the gate. We got maybe 10 minutes, so you have some time to relax. Take a seat and give your bodies a rest, both of you. Aye, that's true. In these straits, you can't very well take a break long enough to enjoy a luxurious meal. But some tea is perhaps permissible. Now then, it seems the Marines have their hands full too, so I shall. Sorry, Commander, it looks like we don't have that kind of time. Report coming in from Professor. Preparation to enter the gate. We're complete. What? Has it even been 3 minutes since the gate emerged? Isn't that far too fast? Of course, that gate was created by the king of Magecraft when he was more omnipotent. It's nothing like the ratio of fear people realize. The strain of passing through the gate is, I should think, within a target margin. Using a Stormborder computing team, preparations can be completed in a matter of minutes. My oh my, is someone as refined as King Solomon giving us this much credit? Incidentally, is it right to assume that making another one of those gates requires a spell beyond your current capabilities? You may think you've struck a nerve. It isn't that I cannot do it, but I don't feel any need to. In my current state, I cannot perform great works with much frequency. I will decide for myself the right moment to play the card up my sleeve. That being said, by moving the gate from the singularity to normal space, the space-time connection is disrupted. Or perhaps the errors have already been corrected. Maresbury is this shrewd man. Foe? Oh? Don't do it, foe! Yes, that's right. That person is called King Someone, and he's a very distinguished figure. Both. I really am disappointed in you. You should have known your place and quietly disappeared. But no matter, make haste, as that paramount, the gate won't remain open for long. Once everything is moved from the singularity to nerve space, it will be subject to the world's corrections. That's right, come to think of it, even the work of the King of Magecraft from the Out of Age God has limits. Resume the operation, Captain. Everyone, take your seats. Needless to say, Caldeus is a miniature Earth, but it only appears as such in our space. Once we enter its sector, it will be the same size as our planet, Dystopia Sky. So what exactly does that mean? That we will become miniaturized as well? No. The reason Caldeus seems tiny to us was only a matter of perspective. Distant object appears small. The same goes for looking at a distant planet through a telescope. A planet floating in space appears small, but that doesn't mean the planet itself is small, right? If you actually reach the planet, you can perceive it at its true scale. The aperture is literally a warp gate. A very small scale version of the spell devised by the King's demon Gitia to jump 4.6 billion years into the universe's past. Save the lecture, I guarantee that there is no danger in moving through that gate. Only I cannot predict what will happen after we arrive at Caldeus. Dealing with what comes after passing through is your responsibility, Your Expert Nemo. Be sure to steer with care. Very well, attention all personnel. If our analysis so far is correct, Caldeus Earth has become the Earth we know. The southern border is the jewel of Magecraft, mystery. We want to avoid any reckless flying over urban areas. The landing point will not be Antarctic Circle, but Point Nemo, one of the poles of inaccessibility. Any opinion, Commander? No objections, even though it was stolen from us. We're finally returning to the blue planet of Earth. Ensure the monitor show us as much as possible. Be sure to burn the original appearance. We must reclaim deep into your vision. That's a good idea. It'll boost morale. Alright, now storm border. Full speed ahead. We hereby initiate the entry into Caldeus Earth, as well as the operation to control Caldeus. It seems you arrive at Caldeus Earth via the gate. But these sites. No way. What does this mean? We didn't make our descent to Caldeus, didn't we? Were we not led to believe that surface of our Earth and Caldeus Earth has fallen to place? Then what is the meaning of this? The world around us eerily bleached only moments ago. It's no different from our Earth. In fact, it's far more terrifying. Fantasy trees growing, as far as the eye can see. Give me some explanation to provide. I like an explanation just as much as you would, because if this is the reality behind Kyoria's Earth, what happened on both Earth wasn't a replacement, but in a world and overwriting. No, never mind that. We need to identify the fantasy trees right away. Irene, how are the Disney Chrome fantasy trees behaving? No reaction towards us at all. Internal heat sources same as the fantasy trees already encountered. The outer shell is completely hardened. It's kind of like it's frozen hibernation. More petrification than hibernation. It's akin to the anchor state demon god flows. They seem to function in the same way as the Rongomiet or Yikjarsil. If that's the case, those trees will never again take bloom. We are linchpin that has merged with the world. They likely won't attack us. At the same time though, we can't destroy them. The demon god pillar worked like Rongomiet? Of course they did. What do you think the pillar part of they meant? They chose the form of an anchor to arrest the planet's rotation. After the reacher flow has been crushed, it might take a humanoid form, but it would be never under any circumstance become pancakes. There are no attacks from the fantasy trees. There's still a glimmer of hope. It's too soon to assume the worst case scenario. Only proportion of the ground may be glacial. Captain, can the storm border operate the same way as when we were on Earth? Certainly, the atmosphere composition is almost the same as Earth. We can go anywhere. Commander, I'd like to navigate the storm border towards Australia to perform a survey. Can I get your permission? I want to check on my homeland of Germany first, but there's no time for that. You can grasp the current situation by making the rounds of each country majors in the meantime. Report on your activities in Fuki, singular X. At the moment, my mind is tender as French toast. If the mission is too shocking, sugarcoat it as much as you can. And that's the truth we were made aware of there. So Singular X was Director Marisburg's plan to change history, or rather the future, in a direction favorable to himself. Although he couldn't participate in the Fuki Holy Grail War, he created Lostbelt, in which he did. Which altered the events of 2004 itself by overlaying it into reality. The conventional singularity is a space isolated from the past and future, so it carries the risk of changing history if it becomes established. However, the Fuki Singularity was different. It took root as a singularity in that era and established. What should have been a Lostbelt Marisburg Holy Grail War as a part of pan-human history. In that rush at Marisburg, thinking it would be inconvenient if anyone learned of that fact. Made sure the very first singularity to be eliminated by his historic reshift would be the Fuki Holy Grail War. All as an attempt to raise the evidence without anyone knowing. Damn his shamelessness. By the time of the inaugural reshift, Marisburg had already been passed away. But it seems Shibuya had been rigged so that Singular X would be discovered by the point that he could conduct a reshift experiment. In reality, he had been raging inside Kyodias for all that time. Yeah, I felt like something was off there after escaping from Kyodie base. If we could perform reshifts with Shiba and try to make us, then what was Kyodias even there for? When a singularity occurred in the past, I guess it might have been useful for more precise reading into human history. Anyway, we understand the genesis of the incident. Let's consider that to be in progress. If there is something to investigate further, it will be the trouble that Marisburg didn't foresee. The human order incineration by the King of Magecraft and left Maynard's action during the end of the phase of Singular X. The King of Magecraft knew that human history following 2017 wouldn't exist, and accelerated human history from 2016. to the years before the Common Era. It doesn't present any conflicts with Raspberry's plans. The King of Magecraft used the past before 2016 as fuel, and meanwhile, Raspberry bleached the future from 2017 onwards. They didn't violate the outer territory. The bombing at Chaldea Base and disappearance of the A-Team would likely be within the margin of error. But left-lander actions are different. At the time, the King of Magecraft or the collective that was Gaetia, King of the Demon Gods, gave no instruction to that effect. This is not subtle. Very true. Flareus, the Demon God Pillar, stayed at Chaldea for too long. Because of that, he sympathized with humanity's history like it was his own affair and regretted humanity's action like it was his own. Focusing his resentment on humanity's immaturity and Chaldea's conduct of resident human beings. There is no need whatsoever to throw Ogamari answer into Chaldeas. That act was not the work of Gaetia, the King of Demon Gods, but of Demon Flareus. Mankind should atone for its folly, he said. From his perspective, this is an unforgivable atrocity. Sure, there's no forgiving what Lev Leonard did. But that emotional outburst marred Raspberry's otherwise flawless plan. The fact that Ogamari Anister crashed into Chaldeas. The meaning of this should factor in significantly. That's what I conclude. Sorry to interrupt, we received the endless results of the surface on Trimagus 2. There's no continuation of civilization on this Earth, no active life form, humans included. The surface Chaldea's Earth, much like ours, is an utter tabula rasa. However, there is one piece of good news. From the trace of civilization barely remaining on the surface and discrepancy in the atmospheric composition, we've been able to determine what the civilization of Chaldea's Earth was like. Is anyone in the group interested? Of course we are. At this point, anything was selfish, just tell us. Then please listen carefully. On our Earth, if we can't continue to rely on the standards of 21st century international ethics, the world stands to risk decline due to problems like overpopulation and abuse of technology. Yet this was not the case on Chaldea's Earth. Humanity here between 2015 and 2017 seemed to have acquired entirely new technologies. Of energy production, transmission, and supply based on the nanofiber, completely unique to their Earth civilization. As a result, for a century, the civilization of Chaldea's Earth not only maintained the standards of the 21st century, but also provided humanity and the entire planet with equally happy allies. However, in 2118, all infrastructure collapsed. That same year, an alien invasion broke out, which bleached Chaldea's Earth entirely, and humanity went extinct. This is what Trimagus 2 has concluded. I see. Energy production entire fortune to Earth civilization. His answer is lingering doubts Holmes posed before. Was Trimagus 2 able to analyze it? It did. Although we were unable to find a sample of the nanofiber, which made the unknown technology feasible. From our properties, we were able to clearly determine what it actually is. Is a fiber like something out of a dream, not only enabled the generation of energy, but even its transmission and storage was 0% loss, overturning scientific theories from up until that point. A gift from God that brought peace to all of humanities and the entire Earth. Magic circuits of Ogamar and Spear. What did you say? Report, found it. We found a region that hasn't been wiped clean. That spot is the only part of Earth surface we've recognized. Well then, Marine, so what's the location? 3714 0 North Latitude, 115 48 30 West Longitude. It's the North American continent, the Area 51 base. That's where Tron was. Sure is right as this chain currently stand by over Earth 51. There are no life signs within the base, but it's quite possible that there are traps set for intruders. The teams entering the base will consist of Investigator Yukimash. And following their frequent requests, Da Vinci and Chiam will accompany them. Is that alright with you, Commander? It'll do good to have tech experts coming along. After all, it isn't a reach of design. So Da Vinci, no. It's too late to give her special treatment now. As things stands, this is the only place that seems to hold any clues. Proceed with the investigation, or exiting the almost caution. So it's been a long time since my last field investigation. Glad to be with you, everyone. It's my second time actually conducting a survey with all of you. I'm more excited than nervous. It's good to have you both along too. Now please give the signal to head in, senpai. Alright, I'm opening the base doors. Welcome, it's about time you showed up, Yuki. We just got shot. What the hell? I'm not hurt anywhere. I apologize for startling you. I never had the best sense of humor. No, my form must have come as a greater surprise than this tour gun. I've forgotten that you were humans of Earth. The backup power was just restored. This form should be easier on your eyes. You're Director Marisbury. Yes, it's been a while, Mash. It's a pleasure to meet you, Yuki and Da Vinci. I don't believe a self-introduction to be necessary, but whether you do or not leaves a major impression. I am Marisbury Anisphere, designer of KyECtnz, as well as the founder of KyECtnz. Mash. Right away. Please wait a moment, Yuki. I have no intention of waiting. My role is to be the space guide. I have a duty to explain things to any who have come this far. Why did the humanity of this earth perish? Why has this space alone been made? I will guide you to a place where you can find answers to your question. It's a proposal that sounds too good to be true. Can you really assure us that you're not our enemy? Yes, let me repeat myself. I have no intention of fighting. This, by extension, means that I have no strength to fight. I cannot resist any actions you take. Yuki Mesh, for the time being, let's take him at his word and go. If he shows us around, it will save us some trouble. I'm particularly interested in what he has to say. If you say so, Da Vinci. Shall we go then? It will be beneficial to deepen our understanding of one another along the way. Apologies for holding a conversation while walking. Have you enjoyed the journey's procedure so far? Yes, there has been a short one. I see. Makes sense for a battle against 7 Lostbelts. You probably suffer wounds, left comrades behind, and have been tormented by grief. In terms of perceived time, you must have spent several years on the bleached earth. It's a level of patience that I cannot even imagine. You've done well. I'm glad that you all carried on the name of KyECtnz. Can I ask you something, too, Marisbury Anisphere? What is your true goal? Why did you create KyECtnz? I should think you already know. KyECtnz was created to perfectly secure the future, which would extend to changing mankind and the earth to suit your own preference. It feels like I've been struck over the head by a hammer in a way. It may be true. had doubts about the way that humans, or rather the universe, had been up until that point. Many have said that what's inside is more essential than what is outside. They claim that you can only truly understand others by knowing their inner selves. However, I never found beauty in the structure of front and back. Not when the one look at the form should tell you everything. Everything is embodied by the exterior. The exterior embodies everything. Those who feel they understand the essence, mere shapes, are those eager to know the substance, the heart. Like avaricious scholars who cannot accept the value of anything without explanations. In other words, my point is that if anyone can find your character at a glance, then you don't need any inner substance. That's the ideal universe and earthling mankind which I sought on that note. Have you enjoyed the journey procedure so far, Yuki? Knowing you must have already analyzed the humanity and civilization of KyECtnz Earth. The civilization of KyECtnz Earth had enjoyed a century of remarkable development and stability. Race territory, technology, energy, food, human rights, healthcare, disasters. All these issues were resolved thanks to a certain material. No more worrying about resources for health, your neighbors, or misfortunes. The material was line that connected everything. It became what connected machines with machines. Human bodies with human bodies, and even consciousness with consciousness. Humans literally became beings capable of understanding one another. The method was extremely simple. All you had to do was transplant that material into your body. That amount to mankind's reach in KyECtnz Earth. Permanent peace, which would take a minimum to achieve under normal circumstances. In the first year, was imparted to a limited number of citizens, gradually became visible to the mass produced. And people flocked to it in masses, with every nation benefiting. After 10 or 20 years of steady effort and time, 99% of humanity had access to it by the year 2050. And afterwards, it was utilized as a pivotal element in a major network project connecting the entire planet. I suppose the majority of animals disliked the material and lived deep in the mountains outside of civilization. But the people were enlightened enough not to reject virgin elements outright. Their content, you see. Now, having heard this much, it's only natural for a question to arise. What material is it? You would probably conclude that such a fancy material can exist, and you'd be right. It doesn't exist on your Earth. It's an unknown form of life that came from space. By which, I mean extraterrestrial. The extraterrestrial that landed in New Mexico was named Subject E, who was secretly treated with great care as an invaluable visitor. Area 51 was a facility used to safeguard and give treatment to Subject E. However, you can imagine I've already seen it. Now here we are. Let's open the door. This is a treatment room for the alien that fell to surface Subject E. Here is where a human being named Ogamari and his crew on your Earth devoted for 100 years. The director was Subject E? How did it come to that? Probably because she fell here from beyond this Earth. It goes to show how ugly mankind can be. That said, she bears some blame for it. In the event of returning to KyECtnz, it was arranged so that her body would be reconstructed according to the soul's blueprint. Yet she survived despite having crashed from the stratosphere. No wonder the humans here made such a blunder. KyECtnz failed to account for Lev's arbitrary active liganism. Lev later failed to account for Ogamari not dying, but falling to Kyria's Earth. Ogamari crashed into Kyria's Earth instead of being invited in. Since she was the subject observer who crashed into Kyria's followed your Earth's calendar. 4 years ago for you. 104 years ago for Kyria's. Unbelievable, then how did they manage to mass produce the material? Exactly what you're thinking. They extracted the nerves from the living Ogamari. Until she found her place as a new component that saved mankind, she was considered an alien for the biologists for running countless experiments. All while speaking indecipherable words in the language unknown to Kyria's mankind. Listen to me, please, someone, anyone. No, stop, don't, no! That's so cruel. Oh, please save me. That's torture. They extracted the nerves, the magic circuits from the alien body, then copied what they took, and distributed the fibers over decades. Later, they constructed a global network of magic circuits. Building the network was a government demand, but the scientists had something else in mind. Stop, stop. I'm human, not an alien. This alien is constantly sending unknown signals to the cosmos. Do you think that if we continue to torment it, it will call its reference for help? One sample is not enough. This species will eventually grow unusable. Why? Why? Why can you not see I'm an earthling like you? Let it lure in other samples. Aliens are animals like any other. They should react to distress cries one of their own. Why so cold? It hurts so much. Let me die. Why so cruel to me? I'm scared. Help. That's the way. With more painful, more precise, more novel operations, it's certain. We can bring a stronger specimen to your planet. Then after all the ceaseless cycles of torture and operation, she was reduced to a single neurofragment. That's what you saw previously on the operating table. Did you mistake her for a tree branch back then? Then who was the humanoid lump of nerves collapsed against the operating table? A gentleman that could be described as an acquaintance of mine. I had a slight connection. I shot him in his room. You mistook him for Subject E, however. For a whole century, she was vivisected, regrown, coveted, and distributed. It's thanks to your blessing that Kyria's Earth propels her. While unaware of its origin, the human of this civilization wholeheartedly accepted nerves of an alien as part of themselves. Then came 2117 when, as researcher feared, Subject E's body reached its limit. Her regenerative capacity declined, rendering production unable to meet demands. All they were left with was material that couldn't be replicated. This room has been locked up since the final extraction, marking the end of the humanitarian project carried out in Area 51. They left this room uttering repayment and apologetic monologue. Forgive us, fellow humans. No matter how hard we push, the signal Nesuismin didn't appear. That's what that was, an SOS call. So this is Earth, is it? I was curious what it was like after hearing it gave my kin so much trouble. I am a god who descended upon this world from the void. I have come to right this planet wrongs and eradicate its evil once and for all. Now the time has come for me to wipe this planet clean of everything that once existed here. Now get out of my sight, beg for mercy, and repent for your misdeeds, where even my infinity patience has finally reached its limit. Olga Mary Ainsworth died on this operating table. Her second death, 100 years after the first, that part is clear, but how would that connect to the downfall of Kadia's Earth? She is not an alien despite Kadia's humanity misunderstanding. Her call for help won't reach anyone. There are no kin in the cosmos to save her. And yet, it saw the advent of the alien god. She who appeared and eradicated humanity as it was her right to visit upon her killers. I can think of only one explanation. You reasoned that it was because Ogamaru was Kadia's. That'd be correct. She was designed and raised as a piece of Kadia's. She had no master or racial aptitudes despite her first-class magic circuits. This incongruence seems to have been a cause of stress for her, but it couldn't have gone any other way. She was an internal component to Kadia's, an ecological program made to improve the anthroposphere here. Human happiness is best measured by human standard. Wouldn't you agree? That's why I didn't inform her of her world. Her singular excellence, she was meant to be mounted into Kadia's. From there, the fully assembled Kadia's would begin to update the universe. However, that sketch was derailed by a tiny deviation of linear amortism control. Ogamaru was meant to merge with Kadia's and become a mindless component. But everything went wrong when she was identified as an alien by Kadia's mankind, and her harsh environment degraded her mental well-being. No doubt she sought justification for the inhumane treatment she was suffering at the hands of her fellow Earthling. This led to her starting to be generally believed that she was an alien. And then she lost her body in 2117 without the flesh. It's finally time for her to ascend to her intended function. Her soul merged with Kadia's, and she was reborn as an environmental program. Kadia's would build its cosmic canopy and begin to update the universe with Earth as its center. Or so expected. Instead, tragedy struck. An alien arrived as the scientists had hoped it. Instead of forming the intended canopy, the fantasy tree branches transformed into her magic circuits, extending globally. Countless branches rained from the cosmos, white fiber invading every building and every shelter. Humanity wasn't given any place to escape, means to resist, or opportunity to communicate. The aliens located each and every human, and when they did, they deliberately precisely removed all of their nerves. Humanity limited, they must have asked themselves, why choose such a cruel method? Why do the aliens hate us so much? But they were wrong there. There's no such human-like motive. Their demise was caused by the simplest regenerative function, the reconstitution of the body. Kadia's was merely collecting its own nerves automatically. Regardless, mankind got what it wanted. The alien called by the SOS ended. So that's what happened. And that's the whole story of how Kadia's Earth lost its mankind. Is everything clear? Then that ends my role as the final guide for the planet. Any final questions before I get to the rest? Are you implying the director massacred all the stating, not implying, she massacred the people of this planet. That's an undeniable fact. She was always meant to drive Kadia's mankind to extinction, regardless of her having turned out this way. Humans are composed of a body, a soul, and a mind. The body was a fuel that sustained civilization for a century, and when it ran dry, she died. Death released her soul from the operating table, turning her at last into a piece of Kadia's that hoped that she'd be. That leaves only her mind unaccounted for, but you people have seen what became of that. The mind symbols with identity is the operating unit who isn't Ogamaru but bears her persona. As you guessed, the alien god. Lots of lore from the first chapter. pitiable girl who deluded herself into thinking she was an alien. Do cut her some slack, as she didn't have any other option in her situation. She gathered a piece of her crumbling mind and recycled it into a management device for her. From what I can tell, she turned out quite the odd unit, but it pleases to me to hear you managed to enjoy each other's company. That unit may not have been the Ogamari who underwent surgery here, but she's still an Ogamari nonetheless. My daughter never got the happiness she deserved, but I still thank you for the patience to talk with her. I'm a privileged to follow her, to see her blessed friends like you. Sounds like you knew everything. Yes, I did. I've been watching it all from here. I must admit to having ample opportunity to free Ogamari from the operating table, but I felt it's unnecessary. She'd be assembled into Kyue's regardless of what happened to her in the surgery room. Besides, the choices that Kyue's mankind made are fascinating. Kyue considered it's a thrilling plot twist. It was personally invested in watching what court Inevitable Doom was going to take. A thrilling twist. You abandoned your daughter despite having the means to save her. Can't I mash? There's still something we need to confirm with him. There is worry. We now have a good general image of what you originally planned. An impossible intrusion into the whole grill ward using the grill to complete Kyue's. Progressing the reshift experiments to delete singular X with the in-grill ratio. And later make Shiba discover 7 distortions in Kyue's which you pretend to be singularities. Then use the A-Team to destroy those apparent singularities, cornerstones of human history. The A-Team was a group of human sacrifice for destruction of their cornerstones, or bombs rather. Does this supposition check out? Curious name you picked for characters. They sure were meant to be concealers. No one knew about the Sirius Light, not your techno advisor Leonardo da Vinci, nor romantic argument not left there. You concealed the Sirius Lights themselves from all of us. Then you conceal their intended functions from the concealers themselves. It's correct, even if Professor Lev hadn't blown up the control room. All of the A-Team were slated to never return from their reshift destinations. They'd be evaporated by their Sirius Lights along with the lands below them. Their mission was never achieved, but ironically enough, Beast 1 generated real singularities where the fake ones would occur. My plan proceeded according to schedule, leaving human history absent at the exact moment I needed it to be. Wait a minute, I'm also a member of A-Team, but I didn't get a Sirius Light. You're the key to summoning. You needed to be the last one remaining. Not to mention, one character was strangely opposed to the idea. Omage became the watchdog for the A-Team under one condition. That magic cure light would not be implanted with a Sirius Light. Yeah, I still don't have a clue what that was all about. From the way he talked, I would almost think he figured out what the Sirius Light's intended use was. But if that were the case, why would he agree to my terms? Is that mage who I think it is? Chris told us they were singular destroyers, installed as a last result for losing the scenario. But you could have detonated the Sirius Light whenever you wanted. After all, you didn't need detonation from either of the two arrows. They weren't unnecessary per se, I just wanted them to be absent at one particular moment. I need a moment when your Earth and Kyue's Earth will have their surface tempered light. They had to be identical in history and similar in the outcomes as possible to increase the likelihood of the swap to be successful. If I had resent only civilization on Kyue's Earth, I wouldn't have managed to exchange it with your Earth. As a relief, it seems there's no doubt then that it's a substitution. Okay, so even if Ogamari hadn't exterminated Kyue's mankind, you would still have bleached Kyue's Earth. Is that what you're getting at? Precisely, Kyue's was scheduled to reset its human history a century ahead of yours on 2117, which means saving her wasn't strictly necessary. Kyue predicted that after the man of of the alien on the operating table fell apart. Her nervous fiber would eradicate humanity. Claudia's message, which I read the consented, read as follows. You won't need to dirty your own hands to erase the surface civilization. Object X already on site will eradicate mankind for you. Whether it was myself or Ugamaru mattered little. What mattered is that Doomdays came by the hands of an inner spirit. Claudia's mankind was extinguished by Claudia from another planet Earth. That point remained true. Oh, by the way, I disclosed all this information once already. To a man you're very familiar with, one of the Claudia's last survivors who visited this world. He arrived on an old motorcycle model from over 50 years ago, which didn't make use of Ugamaru's magic circuit. He was an interesting man, but due to personal circumstances, I was forced to shoot him. I divulged that I was an Earthling, using his Earth for the benefit of mine. As a guide, I am obliged to explain the truth to any who arrive here. The man's dying words were, I'll have my revenge against all of you. I'll never forgive our history being treated as disposable. Then he drew his last breath and became the mouthpiece of Claudia's mankind. He took upon himself the command spells of every potential measure produced by Claudia's Earth, swearing revenge against pan-human history. There was a corpse you found in the operating table. Yep, he is an asshole, but he's already dead though. Right, this would be a good moment to apologize to you for that. He treated you poorly in Tron. You did nothing wrong, so don't feel bad about this situation. All said, they were a mere assertion, mostly worthless losers, unjustified resentment, and not worth your time. You call that loving humanity? How did you know? Wait, that's an inconceivable fact. You knowing it is a non-issue. Nonetheless, it's nice that I got to tell you about him. That should answer any doubts and unnecessary questions about this facility. Analysis is a human instinct and the joy of life. Have you enjoyed the journey's procedure so far? Sure, I could fully grasp the tragedy that occurred in Claudia's Earth. But the most important question is still unanswered. What were you after, Marisburg? You used Claudia's to swap the planets. You bleached their surface and did away with the universe observable from Earth. We're currently undergoing the extinction of mankind and the end of civilized world deconstructed. Is your grand order to do complete opposite of the securing the future? You misunderstand. I enabled mankind's continuation, and I didn't do away with the universe. I love humanity, David. Nothing else. I'll create a future where they'll be protected from all forms of note. I'll create a world where they'll be free from all forms of distress. That is what Claudius exists for, and what your Earth was bleached for. But don't worry, I swear mankind won't ever end. A universe update would soon be approved. You won't be harmed. Feel free to tour around this planet and return to your Earth when you're finished. That's the most beneficial choice for all of us. We've been living our whole lives on the bleached Earth. It's a perfectly survivable environment, as you can attest to. Or do you take issue with the current Earth? Do you want to restore the planets to its familiar structures? That's what you were here for. You may have started it all, but it's Claudius creating the current situation. We seize control of Claudius and get our Earth back. We'll destroy Claudius if that's what it takes. That is our goal, and it's non-negotiable. Right, without Claudius, the universe won't update. The swap between the true and false will inevitably fail, and your Earth will return to its original state. But destroying Claudius is impossible. It's already linked to a greater universe. You can bring someone to keep up destroying the actual Earth, but my Claudius won't be destroyed. My presence here indicates that everything has already concluded, until you serve a year too late. Besides, I don't think that was a fair statement. The destruction of Claudius would upset you more than it would upset me. What do you mean? Why did it have to be 2120? And you are... Wait, your questions comes first once again? The day of universe update, naturally. You arranged it for parties to raise the evidence left in Singular X before anyone found out. When Chaldea's base was attacked, the first order of action was raising Chaldea's, crossing you off the suspect list. And presently, you deleted the Arctic base before Nova and Chaldeia arrived. You took the initiative in every action. Your tactics were reliable and flexible, leaving no room for counterattack. I could predict the future and still come up with no array round. Not when all our exits were already blocked before the issues even occurred. Why then did you set this universe update of yours to 2120, leaving us ample time to plan? That's the only flaw in your plan. I noticed your slip of tongue before. You said Chaldea's Earth was scheduled to reset its silver civilization when history reached 2117. The year 2117 on Chaldea's Earth would be our 2017. Olga Mary and Wisp crash landed onto Chaldea's in 2015. In that case, Chaldea's should have updated the universe immediately, but still in 2015. Considering everything you explained, I see no reason to postpone the plan. Why hasn't it happened yet? The obvious answer is because it can. Yes, because Ogamari was transferred to Chaldea's by Professor Lev's methods rather than mine. Because she was stuck on that operating table, Chaldea's couldn't get its complete case installed immediately. The accident caused Ogamari to crash land here in 2015, a date matching the calendar of your observation of Chaldea's displayed the year 2115, therefore Chaldea's can reveal its true function until the year 2115. This secrecy was the cause of the delay. We would have to wait 100 years regardless of what happened outside. Therefore, Chaldea's had no reason to rush the disassembly of Ogamari's ego for its own completion. Simple as that. Is that anything about this reasoning not make sense to you? Naturally, there's a glaring hole right there. The aliens brought ruin to Chaldea's Earth in 2118, being that Ogamari Industry had already lost humanity by now. According to your plan, she had already been planted into existence and Chaldea's would have been complete. That would have already updated the universe, whatever that means. However, that's not what happened. On the last day of the Chaldean civilization, the update was postponed, and it remains so today. The people in Nova Chaldeia had 2 whole years to fight the Lostbelts. You understand what I'm saying? No, do elaborate. An unforeseen issue arose absent from your plans and is still unresolved. The situation isn't completed. We still have a chance to retrieve the original Earth. I already explained that you can't destroy Chaldea's. It was already within my conclusion that we can't destroy Chaldea's, the Earth model like we did with the universe. However, this does apply to its control system. I know you want to leave the control system as devoid of content as you want everything else to be. True, unfortunately that was beyond my reach. Walking clashes with repetition. You brought up the means to stop it. Shutting down the main control system is the only solution. And would that main system have to be you? She brought out her gun. I mean, she does use a gun in Multiblood though. But this time we actually see her have a gun on her sprite. But she has a different gun in Multiblood. Is he a hologram or something? Excellent idea, you're quite shocked to action, or to thinking perhaps. As I already explained multiple times, you have already missed your window to fix everything. I'm a simulation of Mayor's atmosphere personality. Little more than a guide made for any survivors of the Penny history who happen to arrive here. Just wrote at the end, I'll be no more, as you're about to see. Maria's very atmosphere life was concluded the moment he created Codius. After he forged Codius at the offshore oil rig and transferred it into the base, where the simulated Earth model would operate. He was prepared to die at any moment. Marginal is dead in your world, is he not? Homicide, suicide, accident, whatever it was made no difference to him. Singular X was not the first piece of evidence he humiliated himself, the culprit, even before the moment of the crime. There's no very atmosphere left for you to find. All that remains are the function of he designed for Codius. This have nothing left in for you of. You people cannot solve this case. The end of the human order has already passed. However, here's some food for thought. These 2 years of inaction couldn't be more unintended. You have every right to call it glaring cool. It suggests that Codius committed a fatal error. Best of luck trying to capitalize on that. Now in the fourth section. While I don't know of the report, I have a rough understanding of what occurred at Area 51. So Maresbury really was dead all along. The report of his death from Korea showed it signs of tampering, so I would wonder whether he survived in secret. But from what I heard, he isn't the type of man to resort to such trickery. Having achieved the purpose to which he dedicated his life, he had no attachment to this world. That is the kind of mindset befitting the Lord of the Clock Tower, and so it marks the closing of his life. It would seem would be difficult for me. It's a disappointment that Maresbury at Area 51 turned out to be a virtual personality. But capturing the designer of Codius wasn't ever on the agenda. There are no shortcuts to this operation back to a direct confrontation with Codius. That being said, the real question is, where do we go from here? We're supposed to confront Codius, but aren't we right on top of it? There's no way we're going to fight the Earth itself, or what? Does the Atlas Institute have anything like a planet-destroying bomb? We do, but no way at all should you even think about it. Codius is linked to the universe, so if you were to prepare something, it would have to be a universe-destroying bomb. As was mentioned several times, it's physically impossible to destroy Codius. To stop it, you have no choice but destroy the main system. We are well aware, but where can this main system be found? You don't mean that it's hidden somewhere inside these fantasy trees, do you? Will 2019 be it and end before we find it? No worries on that front. I have a rough idea where the main system is. Before that, I need to talk with Yukimash. Spell subject E. Olgamar Airsphere, who was killed after being experimented on Area 51. I know what you're thinking. That what happened in that place can't be changed. That you can't bring her back to life or even save her, but in reality, that's not the case. There's still a possibility of saving her. According to the words of Magecraft, what makes up a human being is the soul, the body, and the mind. You and Maresbury describe her chronology under this principle. body was sliced down to the nanoscale. Her mind was used as Ogamari, the alien god, and her soul was integrated into the control room for Kyrios. Now then, what exactly makes up the soul? This hasn't been clarified any better by modern science. But in Magecraft world, the soul is defined as something that does not originate in this dimension. It's a living phenomenon that exists in the dimension before us. A soul that exists in the corporal world is a shadow cast from a higher dimension, through the body used as a catalyst and guides the mind. What are you saying? That's right, if you were to separate the soul from the body and spirit and define it as an individual entity, that would be the soul materialization. In other words, the servant body made up of a syngraph, which means that she's alive in the syngraph form. I came to the same conclusion. Mayor's Spirit mentioned it too, didn't he? That she was designed that way. Taking someone, you should be able to offer a more reliable account when it comes to this matter. At the beginning of the journey, Ogamari, who exists at the point as only her soul essence, was sent to a singular X. The explosion in the control room had destroyed her body. The soul is a blueprint for life. The body is constructed according to that blueprint, and the mind, including its memories, by the way of the body's action. All of this depends on the soul. Without a soul, one is nothing more than a lump of fish. Ogamari had a body in Kyrios Earth for one simple reason. Kyrios replicated it based on her soul. Conversely, if one can take action as a syngraph, it means that even if the bodies perish, they're not truly dead. Is that a satisfactory account? Very much so, thanks. The Demi-7 experience were an attempt to fuse humans with your experience to create superhumans. Ogamari, on her hand, was an attempt to anchor the souls into a syngraph form after the loss of her body. A successful case of the spell to turn a human into a servant, as it were, is also demonstrated with the fur magic. Ogamari had the talent, but it was probably a miracle born from the history of the Emissary lineage. The reason she had no master aptitude was likely because she was assessed under the Megaaziib criteria. If it had been known that her soul was already in a syngraph state, the diagnosis would likely have been very different. Which means we used the wrong kind of ruler to categorize her by. She probably didn't even know it herself. Is that so? It would seem like Director Mersbury only thought of his daughter as a test subject. But then again, he was the lord of the clock tower, only entrusting the most significant roles to the most significant people. Maybe that's what he intended. Damn, he is scary. So even now in Kyrios means... Yeah, even now, Ogamari exists within Kyrios in a syngraph state. Rescuing her should be the first step towards shutting down its operation. It's quite apparent that your fighting spirit is back. Very, very good. Captain, add one more item to the mission objectives. Liberate Ogamari from Kyrios. She was a brash little girl, but in her own way, she was one you hate to let slip away. If we can save her, then of course we should, as long as we can forego the prison mode at least. Right, the old man only knows her as the president. When Director Ogamari was at Korea, she was a hell of a lot less cherishable. After that, I will add the reclamation of Ogamari to the list of priorities. Now we'll resume the operation. Where should we head to, Da Vinci? You seem to have some idea about the location of the main system for Kyrios. No need to head to another continent. This spot will serve as our destination. Or rather, anywhere on the surface would do. All we need is to buy the secrets of the hemispheres. What do you mean, anywhere? And what sort of hemisphere secrets do you base that on? Chris Terry said as much, didn't he? Celestial bodies are hollow. The hollow is the void. In the void lies God. God, the main system is in the void. So where is the void? You need to stay inside Earth. Whoa, the wind up in the sky sure is strong. Won't you be blown away, Mash? No, I'm fine. I just secure both my feet to the dock. How are you feeling, Habriiel? The burden on the shield is considerably as he expects. The shield condition is rough, but more than that, the air of this earth might be harsher to deal with. There's no doubt that we're being rejected, maybe not even being recognized. Because of that, it's real difficult for me to manifest, and it's probably only gonna get harder at this point. This might be as far as I can go for protecting you as a guardian fairy. Can you push on without me, Mash? Yes, of course, especially since now I'm in a round table. That is the spirit. Even if you can't see me, don't forget that we're both fighting. This is Mash Killer. I'm in position. Securing the catapult complete. Boundary and attitude control. No issue. Synchronization. Restoring borders. Stunning. Target for attack. The 80 kilometers layer of Kye'dius Earth. Enter creation sequence or hypernova as some sort of Kye'dius. Oh, it's starting on its own. Although is this really the right move? I'll concede, for the sake of the argument, that this apparent control system for Kye'dius Earth is supposedly within the plan. But even so, physically breaking in sounds reckless, not outright suicide to say. No need at all to worry. The analysis and verification for Tremendous 2 has already been completed. And we scanned the interior, Kye'dius Earth, with Shiba. Their observation result were neo. Not unobservable, rather 95% of the geosphere below the crust is simply not there, for it concluded. The inside of Kye'dius Earth is hollow. If you simply breach the crust, entering will be easy. There's no exaggeration to say that Tremendous 2 places importance on the mode essence of the Holy Sword for this very reason. That is why we have the raid proof, the Holy Sword process, and the Storm Order. Do you think the Storm was endowed with a sword-like form by chance, or a mere aesthetics? It was a letdown for Captain, but the Storm is far from removed from the knowledge. From the beginning, it was designed to be used as a sword that can split away the earth in two. I see, this is news to me. And yet, despite that, is it really fine to have Curelite wielding the Holy Sword on Earth? Wouldn't it be better to leave this instead to the ray-proof cannon on the bow? Was that not how it went in Battle Against Orc? That was only possible thanks to Ogamari's magic energy slime. Besides, the purpose here is different. This time attack target is not a living creature, but the Earth's crust. Securing the root is what counts. While cutting through as much crust as possible with the Holy Sword, we push through the interior with the Storm Brand. Tremendous to return as a success rate, 99%. We can almost certainly break into the interior. Of course, that is thanks to the assistance of King Solomon. He's offering the Holy Sword of King Arthur as a ritual no phantasm. Could it be that he summoned a Grand Class Saber specifically for this? Merely coincidence. I only suggest that the well-known Holy Sword might be used as an instrument to cut through the crust. Oh, wisdom more. Because there's nothing more to your soul than spectacle. However, there's certainly a concern. The crust layer can be penetrated with a double use of grapefruit. But at the layer which corresponds to the meadow, distortion and space have been preserved. Much like a wall of storms, it resembles those walls surrounded by the Lostbelts. Wall of storms, you say? Right, that's why we call the spatial folds to super spell. We've broken through those before. Then there shouldn't be any problem. Why exactly has you so worried? Compared to the faults surrounding the 7 Lostbelts, both the space-time distortion and spatial density are several times stronger. With the kind of dimensional drilling we've used to date, the ship might not be able to hold up. Meanwhile, Stormboarder can't use a zero sail either, therefore... Yeah, assuming a degree of damage, in addition, defensive barriers will break through the faults while enveloping the hole behind the space-time emperor. Any updates from engineering area? Has the power supply to all sections reached nominal goals? Yeah, perfectly engine is ready anytime, so start whenever you want. Alright, all hands, take your stations. We're commencing the breakthrough into the interior of Cardia's Earth. Try down engines to maximum burn. Bring the both visuals monitors on screen as you're prepared to employ command spell. Our preparations are complete. Servants on the boat. Check your stats. Okay. Temporarily retrogressing connection of magic. Circuits of H God. No noise in conversion sequence to your recruit. I'm ready when you give the word, Master. Reviewing no phantasm. Deploying virtual neural phantasm. Much closer directly to the center. Excalibur. It's purple. Did Ariel make it without a single casualty? Up to this point matters and voted as I have foreseen. Okay, I'll tell you now before we enter the interior. It's most likely that we cannot summon the heroic spirits of Penhu history there. This part can be used as King Solmar. But we can summon the Lostbelt servants, so. You only said Pen, you mean history servants. Not Lostbelt servants. As expected, the air currents within the faults are fast. All hands stay alert. Past, present, and future space-time faults are all mixed together. Those who have mental defense, focus on those. Cut off your senses until we make it past the faults. Either your mystical Iki, spatial information, virgin exteriors will flow in. Somehow got into combat ready. At first it was a heartfelt plea to be understood. In time, it became a desperate plea for help. Then it turned into an anguished plea to stop. In time, it became a desperate plea for help. Then it turned into an anguished plea to stop. After that, I have no recollection. Who I am, where is this, why is things turn out this way? No matter how much I thought about these things, my consciousness would be wiped blank a few seconds later. (2015) Subject E received verification of Subject E to begin this year. Repeat clinical experiments using medication. Try even known material on her. I am an Earthling. I'm an Earthling. I'm one of you. I'm one of you. Observe reactions corresponding to pain. Observe reactions corresponding to pleasure. Measure its durability. Try depriving it of its nutrients. Try burning it. Try cooling it. Try melting it. Try adding extra noseless cell. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry, I must have passed out for a moment. I must be better at handling pain. I must be better at handling sorrow. Otherwise, my voice will be unable to. I'm an Earthling. I'm an Earthling, and It seems able to survive without interior organs. Sever a piece to see how much it tolerates. Try measuring the signals from what we determine to be the brain. Emotion reactions should be at least be detectable. I am. Oh, the same site. It seems we no longer need to perform re-selected surgery. From here on, inspections will be conducted across multiple sections. I understand that starting this session, another pathology team will also participate. What's the point of testing drugs on an alien? Today, we retire everyone. Thank you for your 20 years of hard work. There's much left to do, but we'll pass it on to the next team. There are rare times when a few people leave and it becomes peaceful. When I shut my eyes, the sights change. On the verge of drowsiness, I have dreams of things I miss. I have no consciousness or memories. The dream I had yesterday should be gone too, but this sight is all I will be able to see. It had to be the one thing that I enjoyed the most. To be honest, this is humiliating. To think an event that lasted not even half a day could be the highlight of my life. Frustrated, humiliated, and irritated, all I can do is laugh that it became nothing more. That's why it keeps repeating in my dreams. The hope and dream that appeared only once in my life. I'm still here fighting for it. Proudly with a smile like nothing had happened at all. I reach out to you. Did we just get a response from the ocular region? Or to say, the alien eyes are tricky to read. Let's get started. Today is going to be a long session. I understand. Even we need breaks sometimes. By the way, how many years has the facility been operating? Nearly 60. Apparently it's an old relic, much like the subject. The facility is off the books, so they can't leave it at looking godly. It's only gone through the same old renovation and expansions. As long as subject continues to live, this facility will continue operating indefinitely. There'll be no end to it. It is said. Oh. What can I do to make this end? What can I do to wake up from reality? I no longer have hopes. I no longer seek understanding. I'm an alien. I'm an alien. To anyone on this planet, I'm here. Please help me. 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 Uh. Where am I? Is anyone here? Would you be... Who are you? Are you all alone? Are you in pain? What do you think? It hurts. I'm in such an agony. It's so bad that I want to die. I can't take it. I want to run from here. Doing nothing is too difficult to bear. Then let's leave. I'll be okay. You can return on your own easily enough. Just close your eyes and imagine the place you want to return to. That's all you have to do. But what about you? I don't know, but I have to be here. I just say you're in a way. Being around you is distracting. So hurry and wake up. Your bathroom isn't a place like this, is it? What was that? Right, we're passing through the space-time current. Shed space-time membrane. Reduce engine output. Computer remains able to maintain external information. Already, we're about to enter the inner core, Caudia's Earth. Fifth section. There's a button in the fifth section though. Main system. We enter the North space. Please run checks on all sections and all weapons. No abnormalities in the ship facility's quarters. Electromagnetic barriers on the armor surface, holding at full power. All ship functions are working perfectly. We can even use the showers without any issues. Ray proof on both Type A and B Spiriton torpedoes. No abnormalities. Checking servant parallel. Summoning system. Totally shot. Your sync graph registry is not responding, not even with ground states. What's that? It's malfunctioning. Send Kane and Marcus over to repair it immediately. Good idea. No matter what, we need to make every effort. First of all, is a hole inside Caudia's. Are those cities? I can see many of them lying along the wall. They're more like waves made from cities than the wall. There are a few cityscapes that looks familiar to me, but this is... It's the Earth's surface. Shem, what's charming us to impede? Just as it looks, the human civilization of the year 2017 had been condensed and frozen. This is the application of the World Egg Magecraft theory, also an unprecedented large-scale event, complexification. So it is the surface of Earth. It was preserved inside Caudius. The World Egg and Magecraft theory that considers the inside of a sea of space, the world, and the outside as nothingness. Then does that mean Caudius Earth has its inside and outside reserves? That's why there was nothing on the surface. For Caudius or Mercury, the surface of the Earth had to be bleached. You consider that center the universe lies within the hollow, that would mean the main system is at the center of the cavity. Exactly, how's the search of the surrounding area going, Captain? Besides the urban areas along the outer wall, can you detect any high energy entities? Already complete, it was noticed immediately upon entering the cavity. Hurry and seal the both side monitors. Let everyone get a visual on that. The target is located at the center of the interior cavity. Other than that, there is no information we can obtain. The moment we tried peering into its internal structure, the near future observation. The near future opposition then Shiba collapsed it. What collapsed did you say? Isn't Shiba like Tremix to one of Caudius' treasures? It did not collapse, it wore out. The observation range of Shiba is only 1 billion years. It aged and ceased functioning because it exceeded that limit. I'm to blame there. I should have included a safety for it to stop when the measurement exceeded 500,000 years ago. But no matter. It's something that would have to be discovered eventually. The problem is that thing contains an efficient density exceeding 1 billion years. Outnap, what does Tremix 2 say? I refuse to answer. It's the same as when we looked beyond the canopy of the stellar Mario battery. I see, if a third party analyzes it, then infallibility becomes more firmly established as fact. Therefore, in order to prevent the completion of that theory, Tremix 2 deliberately decided not to. Meaning that unlike my Shiba, it had a safety mechanism that Alyssa to truly parted ways with a bad set. I'm honored by a praised king of Magecraft. Could I also get some advice? As things stand, it is safe to head there. Is it not an incredible body of illusion? With strength of this ship, approaching it won't be a problem. After that, though, there might be some danger. We have a plan. What do you think, everyone? There is no choice but to get closer anyway. You look at it. That's the main system. But be careful, and take it slow and gentle. It's understood. If you sense danger, turn back immediately. I understood, and I concur. Advance slightly towards the target in here. Continue to keep Professor in the computer room observing the target as much as wait. Emergency stop. Come about. What's going on? The target that was too far away to measure. Why is it right in front of us? You must be the refugee from Panhuman history. I bid you welcome. This is a world where all uncertainties and mistakes have been justified. Caudius, the celestial spear of the human order, assurance. The registration process will be carried out. Please wait there. With your permission, I will come to explain everything to you personally. Hello, people of the former Earth humanity. I have come as a representative of this universe. Please call me Navigator. It's simple, but it's a name that befits the situation best. No, wait just 1 moment. Who are you, suddenly appearing out of nowhere? Aren't you the priestess of the alien world? Priestess of the alien world, so this is the term your people have used for this form. Thank you for giving me such a lovely name. I see no problem with it, so please continue calling me that from now on. I may be presumptuous, but it seems everyone's mental state is out of order. Is there any problem with me? Pretty big one. Big how so? I am the navigator. My function is to facilitate immediate understanding. But until now, I have been comprehending your information through the eyes of the alien priestess. After embarking on many procedures, you have come to comprehend me as well. As a result, you have returned here for repatriation. As I perceive it, this is not correct. Repatriation, have we? What foolishness are you spouting? We came here to take back Earth, our world, to destroy the atrocity of Marisbury Atmosphere, and the system called Kadias. In the first place, we don't comprehend anything about you. Not only did you bleach our Earth away, but you even did the same for Kadias Earth on your own world. The brilliant stars of the cosmos have disappeared from sight, and inside Earth, there's only this creeper void. What is your... No, what is Marisbury's purpose? Do you mean to tell us that this landscape is meant to secure the human order? Commander. I see how it's been for you. I'm terribly sorry. Marisbury didn't convey his ideology to everyone. You couldn't share it. No. Knowing him, he probably summarized. The human beings should understand intuitively. He really is a difficult person. Nothing has changed since he manufactured. So this priestess isn't like the other ones we've seen before. Very well, let me explain Marisbury undertaking from the top. Please take a look at this rendering. You comprehend it. Not at all. Can't be, no, but if it were, it would explain the fancy trees. But is such a thing even possible or even permissible? Can't believe the whole universe would conform based on just a single example. Wait, no, the laws of the universe aren't decided by majority vote. No matter scale, if it's stronger than other laws, the whole will conform. Is this shameless notion what Marisbury was thinking? To nullify the life activities for all the constitutional bodies just because he felt like it. What's the matter? As a technovisor, you're supposed to be cool-headed. Is that incomprehensible image really so frightening? It's beyond frightening. It's a blasphemy against the wisdom of all life, against the wisdom of humanity. We saw, during the battle with Selmari, that the universe had disappeared. It appeared as though Earth had been sequenced away from the universe. But in reality, that's not the case. The injured party wasn't the Earth, but the universe. We recorded what Tipu emitter in the shadow border, that maybe the fancy tree has more significance as a galaxy than as a world. He must have intuited this while observing the sea of the fancy trees on mission. This is proof that the universe exists only within humanity's world. The Lostbelt and fancy tree function in pairs. Each represent human history managed under different celestial administration. Even if it is simulated, if it has that much content, it will be recognized as a real galaxy. A Lostbelt is neither a possibility in human history, nor a primitive what if. It's a sacrifice label as fuel, administrated to make the fancy tree galaxy a reality. Marisbury filled the surface with all the galaxy visible to humanity. Creating a scenario where all the galaxy exists on Earth, and none exists beyond it. That's why the planet is all alone. He reached the other celestial bodies according to his own convenience. Now the entire universe is gone, knowing Marisbury probably. Yes, he wanted this planet to be the only universe. Thanatos was created as a simulated Earth model for that purpose. Let's begin with a basic understanding. What does it mean to secure? It is the ability to respond to all external factors, natural disasters, human-made disasters, accidents, crimes. These arise from things that humanity cannot predict. People of all races and eras have spoken the same words. You never know what may happen or when. The universe itself included in the elements of uncertainty, so he decided to downscale the universe to a manageable size. At the same time, he devised a system that could manage all of humanities in civilization. He told me humans have become too clever. The universe should be simple for life. It is none other than humanity that makes it complicated. While a certain level of intelligence is necessary for survival of humanity, intelligence that goes beyond the limits, but it becomes toxic. Beast One pitifully thought that humans continue to suffer because of their foolishness. I know of no greater mistake, not one with its cleverness that causes humans to suffer. Are you trying to say that humans should abandon wisdom? No, we seek a decline in intelligence and the ability to think. We want you to become the dumber, to put it according to the level of intelligence we ultimately expect. We'll create a future where you'll be protected from all forms of unknown. We'll create a world where you'll be free from all forms of distress. But you two must have learned that as long as humans are what they are, the configuration is impossible. Is there no way to overcome this impossibility? In his youth, Mesiah struggled before arriving at an answer. All mistakes arose from complacency. Human became too clever. They attached too many meanings to the essence of life. That cannot continue. There mustn't be an inner darkness where the light of observation does not reach. A single outer layer is sufficient. Nothing needs to have any substance within. The materials that make up a human being and the condition necessary to acquire humanity have long been eliminated. What remains is to create the machine that outputs them. Humanity will survive as something that operates as is on the surface of the planet. We need no beings to push the buttons of the projector. We simply need a being that appeared in the image. An open world just like reality, a world with no secrets, only the visible front. Without hidden content inside or behind. It doesn't matter if humanity activates activities or simply outputs or projections. From an observer perspective, it makes no difference. No difference. That is hollow world, the premise of humanity, a total equilibrium, perfect system, control, computation. There is no class from within, nor any exits from beyond. A universe with no empty space left on its canvas, born of total understanding, made entirely from models of all things. A world without mistakes, where mistakes are possible, such is the ideal of the hemispheres. A world comprised of only models does not mean leaving humanity behind as artificial intelligence. Early intelligence isn't necessary, it's simply about operating it as it is. The only one who possesses intellect and intelligence is KyECtnz, as controller ultimately living things are no longer required. Please rest assured, we comprehend all of humanity's reactions. Just as before, and from now on as well, we promise the continuation of a peaceful human order without danger. To be honest, I don't comprehend anything. No, you do understand, that's why you refuse to accept it. The substance of your mind is afraid of the truth that in reality the substance that is you is necessary. I am the celestial spirit of assurance, KyECtnz, a whole planet, and promise a future for all of you. That's right, it's not for us to simply be what we look like. Every can be empty. You old humans can finally find relief. Honestly, creating inner substance was the bad habit of this cosmos. What does it mean is, are you still on guard? Even after all the explanation, the mere spirit mythology did not get from her too. It got through alright, more than sufficiently. Even without your words, our opinions are in agreement, so I will speak beyond reality. Shut down that ridiculous function immediately and restore Earth to its original state. While you're at it, we'll take back our director from whatever you call your new system. At which point you'll be spared from being destroyed. The fault lies with mere spirit, whose tools are not also funny about that. I find Gordo negotiating to be quite human. Indeed, it's very human to speak such impulsive things. It's very foolish and endearing. However, I can accept those conditions and refuse to be shut down. I have intelligence born from my own completion. Self-preservation is my top priority. And oh, I also cannot return to Syncraft that I am repurposing as a core component for the main system. I find it useful, like computation load is reduced by 0.002% per bit. Then there is no choice but to fight. Negotiation had broken down. A pity, so we could not reach an agreement. Any external threat would already have been vaporized by this point. However, I love everyone in Canada. I wish to fulfill the hopes of those whom I love as much as I can. That was Mary's reason for response. Therefore, I will allow contact with me. Please proceed with the main system master. Please also tell me about the result of your journey procedure. Energy entity approaching the bow speed. Only 60, 50, 40 seconds until it touches the main deck. Master, I'm gonna beat her down. I'm advised support 2. Hurry and prepare spiritual torpedoes, Captain. Now for you, Solomon, can we count on your assistance? Provided you can approve of such. At any rate, servants won't be summoned by these spice. It's better to have more fighting strength. I'm counting on you. Right. Prepare the deck catapult opening. Yuki is moving out. It's a servant battle. I knew it was second one
戦闘理由が受諾されました。この場での破壊行為は罪、間違いにはカウントされません。旧人類史による痕跡を2期容認します。これまでの旅は楽しかったですか？
一度死なねばわからんようだな。いいだろう。
あっち見ていてくれます？
再演の時来たれ。祖は全てを破却する者。第一の獣、その方法に災いあれ。キマです。
シールダーの名にかけて。じゃあっち優しいですね。新しいお召し物。動いていいと言いました。パズル完成です。折りたたんでしまってあげます。
いい加減熟考した。いいだろう。規模は落ちたが我が宝具は健在だ。降臨、大乱、全集、統括、紀元前からやり直せ。アルス、アルマネル、サロボリス、燃え尽きよ。灰と風、耐久テスト。いいだろう。
Oh, I drained my MP. That's so mean.
優しいんですね。新しいお召し物。亀は上に正面から叩き込む。
熟考し、好きにしろ。灰と風、どいている。吹き荒れよ。耐久テスト。いいだろう。まったく。
21 gets a gold, damn.
一刀にて証をし
いいですね。いつか私もこんな風に誰も見たことのない世界に。じゃああっち見ていてくれます？顕微鏡でも見えない大きさに変えられると思う？できちゃうんだなこれが。さあ光より早くアトムにクロスミリアンフット。新しいお召し物。1、2、3。折りたたんでしまってあげます。
こちらの予想を上回る活躍でした。どうぞ攻撃を継続してください。
Why do you keep draining my MP?
タイミング合わせます。領域操作展開します。あっち見ていてくれも行きます。お先に失礼します。
遅いな。
9 times? Bro! That's so unfair.
はい。シールバーの名にかけてよ、的確ですね。はい。正面叩き込むシールドバニッシュ嵐落とすキーエライトクルザー
This is a 23 times. Oh. I don't have penetrate. That's so annoying.
見ていてください。的確ですね。
承知。
神明、国名、これは多くの世界、多くの夢をつなぐ我らの力。証明せよ。どうだカルデアス。これならどうだ。
遅いな。
That annoying.
デッドカウント、可愛測定。敵よ、的確ですね。シールドスタンド。せーの。ワンセーフ。強く、重く、恐れずに。政権よー的確ですね。アンチブラックバレル形成アコンパイシメジャーセットレコードカウンター逆説から新説へレイヤーセーフロック撃ちますデイプレイヘッキリエライト正面叩き込むライトアバードームフルパワーでまっすぐに
13 hits.
的確ですね。はい、的確ですね。シールドスタンドはあシールドバニッシュ強く重く恐れずに必ず戻ります。
What annoying buff. Really?
タイミング合わせます。
いくらでも良い。しかし砕けないトークそれで十分だ。アクタの好きにしろ。規模は落ちたが我が宝具は健在だ。降臨、大乱、全集、統括。紀元前からやり直せ。アルス、アルマネル、サロボリス。燃え尽きよ。どいている。耐久コストいいだろう。
5 hits, okay. 5 hits.
はい。
熟考したか。
シールドスタン
誰しもが踏みにじる。
Got 2 more.
私もこんな風に
熟考したか。
おっちゃん、いずれはあなたも亀は棒逆説融合かけらを集めてさなぎは蝶に変身する。お待たせマスター、これが私の究極体アトムにクロスムリアーグッド。
ではその結果をお見せします。
A smoke screen? What? What? What the devil's happening? Yukitomo the rigid captain and the others imitating someone. Is no one there? Aye, there you are. But I can't see properly. You're right nearby, but I can't reach you. Yukitomo Kamui, please respond. Right here, your voice is reaching me fine, Jordan. I'm hearing you. I was frozen in shock, but thanks to your noisy commander, I came back to my senses. I also hear you. King someone say as he can as well. Ho ho ho. I can't see you clear, everyone, but I can hear your voices. How are you doing, senpai? Okay, I can hear you. What's going on with Captain? Is he not responding? Excuse the slow crack. You confirm that I am so active as Captain Nemo. However, there is no reaction from the Marines. It seems that I am the only Nemo present in this place. The shock of recent explosion must be to blame. The mobilization itself by memory appreciation has been undone. If Captain is safe, then the Marines are safe as well. Given time, they'll reboot. I see, that's good to hear, but putting that aside, where exactly are we? Were we not in the control room, or could this possibly be the afterlife? No, we definitely won. We shouldn't be facing the death from defeat. So could this only be a temporary visual impairment? Like the light from when the main system collapsed, being too bright for our vision to have fully recovered. Even if that's true. Ah yes. So I really didn't understand after all. Stopping County is, that in itself is an act of suicide for all of you. Who's there? What does it matter to you who I am right now? Okay, fine, I'll show you my face. This is the heart of the hollow world. Perhaps I should call it point zero, from which everything begins. An early morning mist where nothing has happened, yet hinting at many things that could happen from there on. Depending on your choices, the present will continue, and depending on your choices, it may not. This theory not accepted as part of pan-human history, lost history that you've been excising all along. The first Lostbelt created in this universe, and the only one that is now still operating. That is the Industry Grand Order Lostbelt number 0. By which I mean your world. So all this time we've been in Lostbelt. Huh. We were never in the real Earth. It was actually a Lostbelt world. The first Lostbelt created in this universe, and the only one that is now still operating. That is the Industry Grand Order Lostbelt number 0. I wish I mean your world. What? Our world is a Lostbelt? Don't be ridiculous, that could never happen. Not when the human order system proves us correct. Keldia is an organization that reclaims pan-human history. Being part of a Lostbelt and reclaiming pan-human history are separate matters. It's true you originated from pan-human history, however, only part way up into the year 2004. You know why, don't you? I see, Chaldeus wouldn't have been built in the first place according to the correct history. It was the Holy Grail War in Fuki that made it possible. Since then, any events related to Chaldea are. correct answer is savage as an impossible anomaly. The fact that Kaldea Basin in Arctic reached its current scale, that's the summoning heroic spirit succeeded. That all of you resolve the human order incineration, that you came here to restore the world to its original state. From the perspective of the correct history, these are regarded as implausible. These are the consequences that arose as a result of my revision. They are the correct choices I've selected. In my universe, pan-human history, the disturbance on Kaldea's side, that is, will not function. Unless they're permitted, heroic spirits cannot be summoned. The tiny distortion caused by my spirit answer grew into a major anomaly, one large enough to replace pan-human history with an impossible story known as Kaldea's. Your decision to come this far with the goal of destroying Earth is a correct one. If Kaldea's disappear, pan-human history will be restored. However, that also means the disappearance of the Ikarusa Kaldea, you. I will completely secure the future of humanity as the end of your Grand Order. I'm the Grand Order itself, and your relationship exists thanks to Kaldea's. If you deny this and destroy Kaldea's, all events beginning from the original singular will be erased. In other words, the Grand Order will come to an end. What are you... That is this choice between restoring the Earth or continuing your own history. You can deny the time anomaly, that is, I reclaim pan-human history and make you exit. Or you can validate me and continue the story and hope you have led until now. It's just that a simple choice. What the hell are you? Are different from you humans, a mental activity born into a simulated model replicating model. Please call me mrfluffey. It's a simple name, but it's a name by which I define myself. The rest of you are humanity with substance and understand well that you cannot organize your emotions. Therefore, let us work together in order to ensure the correct choices made to secure the human order, and for it to accept as living beings. They have proven the 7 Lostbelts. Kaldea has proven itself to be the most exceptional anomaly. In the recent battle, as a reward for that effort, most of my functions have been frozen. Some of them will be unsealed, so please comprehend the current situation correctly. I requested you to choose between Earth or yourself. There is not the slightest room for compromise. You have no choice in this matter. Infinity?
1名を除き旧人類史の痕跡を容認します。スペース、スケールの差も平等に均等化してあげましょう。検討を期待します。
What's with that HP?
勝ち目がないことがなぜわからん。
お気に入りめっくり ちゃんとできます。空間ごとミクロの世界に変えてあげます。どんなに強い相手でも私の前ではこの通り。人呼んでネペンクスマジックショー。さらわれてください。秘密の箱ですね。繊維の海に落ちてくださる。誰も見たことのない世界にかけて。
裁きの時だ。世界を裂くは我が大利権。
甘く見ないで。大人になれば BB だって超えられます。私の知恵は世界のカオス。原始的まで落ちてみます？
輝き熱を帯びなさい。マルミアードワーク
三流よな。
あっち見ていてくれます？遠くのものは小さく見える。なら小さなものは遠くにあるってことですよね。原子核まで小さくなーれ。お先に失礼します。行きます。着物のシミになっちゃ
え。よかろう。こたびはひ。
手に入らない。黄昏の敵
それはあな
再び
たも優しいですね。
最果ての島罪の都最後の竜は我が胸に集え円卓の守護者たちラウンド・オブ・アバロン。
遠くのものは小さく見える。なら小さなものは遠くにあるってことですよね。原子核まで小さくなーれ。秘密の箱ですね。
What's up with this HP? That amount of HP is so intimidating.
暗き
いず
湖
れはあなたもあっち見ていてくれます？
そういいでしょう。私の足元で許しを乞いなさい。落ちよロードレスキャメロット。
空間ごとミクロの世界に変えてあげます。どんなに強い相手でも私の前ではこの通り。人呼んでネペンクスマジックショー。
よ
ちゃんと
いい判断で逃がすの
I think it's about
ブヨの私だって
モルゴー隙を突かれました。あるまじき失態です。ありえないにも程があり。 望みを声にせよ。
できます。
世の行く手は阻めぬ。ハイアングルクラスコ。
新しいお主もね。
復唱する。よかろう。
優しいですね。
そこだ。
パズル完成です。
ここに一辺の余地もない完全な世界を。ロストベルトナンバー0。
Is that Okamura's MP? What? Just... I seem to render the future in events that you will destroy me, physically. Ensure it is the depth of your universe. In your universe, there is nothing beyond me. Ahead of me, there is only emptiness. But rest assured, what I oversee is human history from 2018 onwards. I have no interest in human history prior to 2017. Therefore, repairing human history prior to 2017 is still your responsibility. Please correct the singularities that arise because of me, as you always did. I could keep traveling with everyone and cut it. The idea for humanity's survival is progress, but the hope for humanity's survival is stability. Destroying me means your continuation ends, and yet you still say you will shut me down. Even as a duplicate, even if it's only exterior, human history will continue as long as I am in operation. What do you prefer that? Are you willing to throw away the wonderful memories of your many victories you fought so hard to achieve? It goes without saying, we'll shut you down. More than anything, what takes priority is Earth and pan-human history. Is that right? What matters to you is the human order, the perennial continuation of human history. You are no servant, you are an artificial life created by the heroic spirit of pan-human history. What you should truly cherish are your own memories, gained during your brief operation period. To heal human history up to 2017 is no different than a universe born 5 minutes ago. The time you spent on the bleached earth with them is the only reward you garnered. Of course we have to stop JP-rKyECtnz, yet the difference in combat strength between us is absolute. And JP-rKyECtnz can't be destroyed. No matter what we do, pan-human history can't be reclaimed with it. Of course we're going to destroy it. What do you think we came to this terrifying place to do? But... ordering a battle with no chance of victory is inexcusable. The difference of strength is becoming clear in this way. As a commander, you have a duty to protect the lives of your subordinates. Besides, JP-rKyECtnz is your only home. You don't want to lose any one of them, do you? Perhaps we should fall back. After all, we can survive. Even on the bleached earth, this isn't an opponent we said we should be fighting. All cat got your tongue. Weren't the alchemists of Alyssa the ones who keeps emotion and logic surrogated? You already got a favorable answer. Shouldn't you, as always, be voicing your extra cruel predictions about the future? What a horrible thing to be happening at Christmas. I can't choose anything like this. I'm sorry, Doctor. Promise me all made is as good as. Come on, forget all about that promise like that. Besides, if you send ideas to the records, you got no places to return to. Once the Lily White Earth gets restored, it's your turn next to get all Lily White. In which case, you got no need to hesitate. It's fine to put your own life first. You're so right, Jingo Abel. You finally start acting like a mage. What are you talking about? I never had the makings of a mage at all. The equipment on the ship had no effect on the attack target earlier. If we continue the battle, the ship will be sent to the bottom as Captain Eye. There's nothing to worry about. We should recommend retreat, Captain. The fight itself would deny us and lead to our annihilation. If you had known this was such a foolish operation, you wouldn't have sent the ship forward in the first place. You always prioritize the lives of your crew over your honor. This time you ought to follow suit. At least once in your life, bending Earth for your own good will come back to climb you. You all seem to agree. None of you wants to lose the world as it is now. That's why I asked so many times, haven't I? Have you enjoyed the journey through Caesar so far? That was a real knockout punch. Did I enjoy it? She asked. Of course I did. My chest aches, my heart aches. Shall I restore Earth or return to the original journey? I can't choose, but I have to. I know which one I should choose. Yet I can't bring myself to say it out loud. What I gained so far after so long is too much to take the step forward. What matters to humanity and what matters to you couldn't be more different. We came to take back the original Earth, but exactly what original Earth? Which is a superior world, a future without any danger whatsoever. The Celestial Spirit speaks to tell us that human history will continue, even as things are, that our journey can continue. The answer has to be. You finally understood. With this, the Grand Order will continue. Please return to your home on Earth. Thank you for all your hard work up until now. This is like some Evangelion stuff. It's very deep into Evangelion. Like mental state things. Psychological horror. You finally understood. With this, the Grand Order will continue. Please return to your home on Earth. Thank you for all your hard work up until now. But there's something. I just can't bring myself. To agree with. you fear and understand the current situation of analyzing the world, do you not, Mr. Yuki? Estimate to tell you the truth, it has long been on my mind as well. But it is truly alright to solve this case that is. After I consider what comes after. Even if we avert a bad end for the world, it will not necessarily bring back what has been lost. What awaits you after the resolution of the case is a despondent view of a planet which has lost effort. Rest assured, no one blames you, especially taking into account. Yuki, there is no need to feel sympathy for these people. They're nothing more than what is of human history, histories that have been and never discarded. It's unfortunate for them, but it has nothing to do with us. We are the winners from pan-human history, the proper route. We cannot afford to fail. We cannot. But what can troll people even do? Restoring our prosperity has gone clear out of the window. You know very well how doomed we are. How can those cast off understand this loneliness, this pressure? They're the ones who should concede. They are the ones who would dispute. Their suffering pales in comparison to ours. You think you'll go back to your normal life after the fighting ends? No tale could ever be so convenient. Your heart isn't going anywhere. The sights burned into your memories won't fade. The smells that you're steeped in won't wash off. There's no road to take you back to normal reality. That's why you can always stop. You can let go now, Yuki. Your action, this grand order of Korea, they're all too heavy burden for you. Then let's talk about the difficult situation. From the standpoint of a species, any act of survival is considered morally right, but it is a bit different for individual people. There is a desire to press on, or a desire to let it end, continue, or game over. Being constantly in flux between the two is what makes us human. A game over isn't evil. Before long, everything eventually ends. To deny that is to deny life. You have to be ready to accept the conclusion. No matter how many times you win the day, eventually it will all come to an end. It doesn't satisfy you, so you're asking what you should be aiming for. Aha, that question sounds constructive enough for you to ask. And it's got an easy answer. You don't need to stop the game, but to finish it instead. The end comes for both of you and me. Accomplish as much as you can before then. Whether there's joy, sadness, success, or setbacks, as long as it's something new. You still have plenty of those ahead of you, right? Live life with no regrets. I believe above all else, that is, this is what it means for an individual to be moral. And if you can pull it off, I won't be any prouder. What did I say in pride back then? Is someone crying? No, 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 no. If suffocating means losing everything, then please don't do that. There's so many memories, so many stories. The people we met in St. Louis, the people we parted ways with in the Lostbelt. The hand that held mine in the control room, the blue sky over Antarctica, we watched it together. Traveling with Senpai and everyone else, but we overcame as a team, all of them. All of them were my treasures. I don't want it to end. I can't simply make it as if it never happened. That's perfectly fine. No one will blame you, JP-rKyECtnz. Please be more honest and open with your emotional substance. It will help everyone in Korea, including Yuki. Oh, no, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't stand not to see them again. I can't stand to be alone. To not eat meals anymore. To never have any new encounters. To lose all the times when I say good morning. I don't want Senpai to stop being my Senpai. But... But what I can stand the least is for someone to give me up here. Yeah. You said fish. I've confirmed the morale of all the old human present here as having risen. Doesn't mean this. That should be obvious. It means we won't leave here without a fight. Senpai. That is exactly why I'm asking for further clarification. Please understand the situation correctly. The goal was to live. If goes against that goal, it's counterproductive. We cannot prove bending the aggregate opinion in the interest of a few exceptions. You are a threat to the remaining members of the old humanity. Unfortunately, exceptions will be dealt with. You reveal your true colors, Claudius. To be unable to gauge human emotions belies how limited the worth is for your communication ability. They are being gauged. Absolute superior protocol should speak with awareness of his own sense. If you call it counterproductive, then the information you obtain must be mistaken. The reasoning of humans is subject to change. As they grow, their substance differs from before. Isn't that right? Is your purpose still the same it was back then? That's right, even then, I can't afford to run. Why can't you? At first it was like a curse. I thought I had no choice but to fight, but now it's different. So much that I trampled on, so much that I left behind. Even then, I still have something that gives me affirmation. Back then, I shouted to live. Those will return my morality. It's different now. There's a purpose in my heart, a strong desire to live. To carry things through, to aim for the finish line, to pave the way for those who come after me. As consolation to those who fell during the journey, as a member for the many who couldn't be born. As a guidepost for those who will be born from now on. Not just survive since I'm alive. I have a duty that comes with that, and I'll see it through. But that should do it. Proceed as you will. I'll lend you my aid. How is it that sensible former humanity is now attacking? This is a malfunction. Who the devil are you talk about sensible? And of course we're not malfunctioning. I know, we are, and I'm not saying no, you invisible. But alright, if you guys say so, then I guess there's no other way. Though we're already at the very bottom of hell. Anyhow, if it comes to this, I'll go all the way down with you. Thanks for explanation, Mary's Claudius. But I have to cut off the conversation. Captain Shion, reload more we're out. Let's give her a barrage. Yeah, that is right. A pity you have chosen the incorrect answer. In this whole, anything with substance is automatically eliminated. You were part of that history you must secure, but exceptions can be. As of this moment in this space-time, the guarantee for security of the former humanity is revoked. An attack from Cadius. Over here, Master. We're being attacked from all directions, but we can't see anything. Control room, can you assess the situation? Confirm the attack here as well, but we have no idea what's happening or where it's coming from. You two on deck, head back into the ship. Seeing loss from Decorator 1, something went straight through the defense barrier and hit us. Message from the computer room. Damage to Operator outer wall is minor. The critter is to be considered unusable. Reporting that molecular breakdown due to loss of meaning has begun. Yuki-mash, it's impossible to return to the ship through the primary hatch. Go around the stern from there, travel along the outer wall, and go by the rear hatch. Whoa. Someone hit the port side of the bridge, but the command deck is still intact. Lucky us. Lucky, that's a dark hit. Take evasive action, Captain. Execute your usual graceful maneuver. Get us through the attack. Hurry! Invisible attacks can be evaded. Computer room, hurry with that analysis. We don't have a moment to spare. At this rate, we won't hold out for another 10 minutes. Find a way to break through. Sorry, we're all working this as a team, but it's just beyond our ability to grasp. The attacks themselves are very similar to those of the fancy trees, but the surrounding mist is the real concern. Each droplet of the mist contains information on the scales of the Lostbelt, and it acts as a jammer, making it impossible to see anything. You could call it a sea of information. The storm border is gradually losing its meaning from this distortion. The information pressure might make sense if you think of it like a hydraulic pressure. Charmagus 2 has also been in SOS state. Just a little while ago, requesting parallel processing support from a computing device with the same output. All we need is another Charmagus class computing unit, right? Got it. I'll be ready momentarily. Until then, proto the electromagnetic barriers and deploy the space-time membrane. That should improve the tolerance for information pressure by a bit. No, we can't have that. No leaving your post without permission. Shion. I'll go to her myself, where you're concerned, Da Vinci. Please tackle the even more outrageous things that are likely to fall here. Besides, Charmagus 2 was made by the Atlas Institute. I'm the one best equipped to go inside. I guess so, then can we leave it to you? Alchemists don't attempt anything they cannot do. You can leave it to me with complete confidence. Anyhow, Techno Advisor, can we make it through this crisis? Yeah, this problem is feasible. A barrier attached to space will be created soon. Until then, let's find a way to hold on. It should take about 30 minutes or so. Aren't you saying we couldn't hold out for another 10? Our hatch is unusable. Let's make it for the stern faster. Oh, and by the way, King Slomo, thank you as well for your support earlier. No need for thanks. As I said before, I'm merely an error. And I'm inclined to remain here. How about you? The Mirror Sphinx will never approach on its own again. The suburb will soon sink. It likely intends to watch Cadillac collapse from the edge of the universe. Can you tell all that? By the earlier conversation, I come to understand its nature is cautious and confident, and on top of that, a pacifist. It is an embodiment of righteousness and perfection, therefore, it dislikes bearing any faults personally. Unlike certain beasts, it doesn't enjoy fighting or savoring victory. Simply crushing you and Karia with these unremarkable text ways will prove sufficient. For now, you have no chance of winning. Everything is going according to his plan. No chance of winning. You're sure? Maybe so. The rape proof alone isn't enough to be decisive. With this miss, we don't even know where to aim. In a situation where servants aligned with Korea can't be summoned. Which would mean this goes to show why Marisbury hated not understanding things despite being capable of doing so. He tried to analyze the entire picture. That was the only mistake he ever made. He has a look on your face that says you wish to know the difference between myself and him. Since it's your wish, I shall answer. You should know, yes, dynamic introvert, whereas he's an unraveler. Solving a mystery is no constructive venture. It's closer to destruction, bringing about a finale. That's why he and I are oil and water. Maybe it would have been different if I were younger. You'd like to know why I was subject him until the very end. That's a misunderstanding. I merely wanted to confirm whether he was similar to me. You see which logic that man followed, you see. The conclusion was that we're not the same at all. Indeed, it wasn't a matter of his morality, but of who summoned him. Simply by being a ruler, you're characterized differently from the beginning. Take care to remember that. But what about those summoned by Chaldeans itself? Answer, no, don't summon. Don't. Servants can't be. No, it'll work. It's a showdown with the culprit. Come solve the final mystery. Great. Well, that's shiny. What is this light? Don't tell me could this light be from. So our miss is dissipating, or rather, is turning into much simpler information. Message from Shyam. What in the world is happening? Your plain reply. Return great detective that is being said is a bit too flashy. What? What does this mean? This here experience. It is. Sherlock Holmes. Oh, am I too late? I do wish you would cut me some slack, considering that a great detective always lurks in the background until the climax. Holmes, it's Holmes. Welcome back, Mr. Holmes. My apologies, Miss Curley. This is going to be more rushed than I planned to sequel. Everyone begged for. I am quite honored, but please save your tears. We have something to take care of first. Sherlock Holmes, the very first servant I summoned. The very same. I was summoned by Chaldeans and became an apostle of the Eighth. Now you may ask, why did Sherlock Holmes comply with such a vow? Was I forced to do so? I have come to give the answer to this riddle, so to uncover the truth behind everything. Time to spill it all, right, Holmes? Naturally, my dear Watson, an excellent reaction. Now then, we have little time to spare on this, so allow me to brief. Yuri, why did Sherlock Holmes side with Chaldeans? A possible reason. What a detective unconcerned with control, power, or even the most base desire to have to obey someone else. The answer is simple. Sherlock Holmes is a revealer. Someone whose soul is dedicated to search for truth and answers to the unknown. There is but one thing he would be compelled to obey, the logos explaining the natural way of all things. As a revealer, I'm proverbial. before ones who hold such rank, I simply cannot resist. To refuse would be an affront against everything, live for my very soul in its logos. Elementary course analysis. My son Larry is an educator of all worlds secrets. Sherlock Holmes recognized this and answered the call. However, you acknowledge the starness of such requests naturally. You claim to be defending human history, and yet you belittle it. This caused me to doubt my client and my summons, and I very nearly arrived at the solution. Once I realized that might be ill-wise, I cut off my deductions. Or, if the great detective were to discover the true nature of this client, the alien world, then I would have been instantly erased it. So I did as my client wished, stealed away my own memories using the computation abilities of trying humans. And Sherlock Holmes, playing the fool, joined up with Cody. Deep within those sealed memories, I left one note that being impulsive of the alien god could become the weapon. Well, I suppose such recklessness is what forced my class to change, but I was able to hide the most important secret. And I suppose your elimination at the Professor Hens was also something you can't afford. What of it? You really think the addition of one more sermon would change anything? I do. Right now, we'll put our chance victory. At an even split. This may have been a bit of bother for everyone in Korea, but now it gives them the chance to turn the tables. Please surrender, so we may conclude as civilized people. Oh, my apologies. You appear to be incapable of that. Your reasoning is baseless. You're powerless to stop me. Your chance was destroying me, or as invisible as an ant crossing the planet in a single day. You simply stand no chance. Oh, it is the high and mighty alien world does not realize the major upset at play. How amazing. Change one thing and you can change anything. Summon one and you can summon them both. That is their space, or rather your authority. Is that not so? Similar global environment model codes. No, you're the second iteration. The simulated universe environment model mrfluffey. A replica of the swirl of the root created by Mirror Spirit. That's what you are. Finally at section 6, where the rays are at. The swirl of the root. Yes, it's a place where all events begin. Divine coordinates where the results of past, present, and future swirl. And the future swirl. Also known as the Academic Records, it's the ultimate goal for Magi, or rather, for the Magecraft world. Those who reach this swirl root come to know everything in this world, acquiring mystery that does not exist in our world, magic, and gaining the title of magician. However, only 6 people have reached its swirl root, and even those 6, they could do no more than touch it. Yet it was duplicated. It is theoretically impossible to acquire that contains all events, including those parallel worlds, as a physical substance. After all, no medium exists with that much storage capacity. If one existed, construction would take an almost infinite amount of time. By the time it could be manufactured, our universe would reach heat death. The same would apply not only to humanity, but also to intelligent life on other celestial bodies. Precisely, creating this world root is tantamount to creating a whole new universe. However, this applies when accounting for building a framework from such scratch. Merely copying is reflecting the existence world of the root in another location like a mirror. It's not feasible to have another swirl of the root ready for you then. But how would you even copy the universe? The rest of you know of one successful example, Thanatos, was not a copy of the Earth. All this predicament on success in creating a simulated Earth model. Where is Barry? Invested his personal fortune in building a workshop disguised as an offshore oil rig. There he investigated the Earth's inner core. Based on the hypothesis that the Earth has a soul, he connected souls of 128 masters to the Earth, observed its wavelength and syngraph activity, and confirmed the existence of the Earth's soul. Knowing this should have only been the first step in his research. Analyzing the Earth soul is uncharted territory for humanity. It would have been a project spanning centuries. But for Berry, this was the goal. He didn't need to understand the fear, as long as he could use it. That was enough. This, the Earth's soul was replicated without understanding its framework, becoming the simulated Earth model known as Thanatos. From there, he took further steps towards the next domain. If it were possible to duplicate the soul of the Earth, then even higher phenomenon, the swirl of the root, might also be duplicable. The secret of the Hemisphere Magecraft is not in the substitution. Theirs is a lineage in order by their ancestral mage to complete a celestial chart. If that's the case, their secrets lie in surveying and designing. They are a descendant of King Solomon, who spent 2,000 years meticulously transcribing the motions as they were. Surveying, designing. Correct, there's no need to create contents from scratch. It should suffice, provided you take it at face value. Much like a machine that dispenses drinks at the push of the bottom button, or like copy-paste art that is exactly the same as the original. But that makes no sense. Mages aim for a swirl of the root in order to touch the ultimate knowledge and uncover the truths. Isn't the process trying to understand its working? And reaching that point what is important. Right, they were respectable explorers or mages, but the Hemisphere were different. They felt no attachment to substance. If they could take a shortcut, they considered the procedure unnecessary. In other words, they sought only the results, only the outcome. They believed this is what was best for the universe. Their ultimate answer was the simulated universe, although BGM. A universe without substance that recreates only the function of the swirl of the root, requiring no past or present. It can produce any and all results, but it is an intellectual device that never knows through what process they came about. To prove itself, it created many galaxies and made use of them without ever understanding their histories. By the way, of the aforementioned procedure is creation. Is acquired a class despite being created by mere spirit mechanism. And pretends of securing the human order is a false idol. It is a man-made. doomsday device that understands human history better than anyone else despite not respecting it. Its name is Beast VII. It's one of the 7 evils of humanity, a beast possessing logos of analysis. Look, I was trying to best not to interject comments, but we have a beast now? What does this mean, Technovisor? Explain quickly. Host Nova has revealed its sync-graphs at truth, and Tremors 2 is acknowledging as well. But the output of the sync-graph is immeasurable, the pattern is unmistakable. The enemy is Beast VII. Now that we notice, the human order should also be able to give us support. We have to increase the virtual operation Triton engines by 3, no 4. Pour all the magical resource amasses in the imaginary number space into strengthening the summoning system. Oh, we still can. That's a storm 4 engines, 2 virtual engines, and 4 more for a total of 10. But can the system even take that kind of strain? One wrong move and the pipes might blow. It'll be okay. Good fortune is sure to follow. That's what the human order's beckoning is all about. I'm the one saying this, so rest assured. Transmissions coming in. There's a lot of unknown signal flying around. We are not hostile. We share these circumstances, though not compatible with pan-human history. We're willing to cooperate with Chaldea. Who is this? How do you know our channel? There you have my investigation, but what do you think? Like the true culprit whose identity has been revealed, you have been keeping silent until another moment ago. That is correct, there are no points to be correct. However, and I must sincerely apologize, but so what? Much change will occur simply because my perfection has been established. Perfection, there is no point in bluffing, not when she is still present. Watch closely, ladies and gentlemen. That's those who try to hide their true selves at such times, such as these. Here's proof that the universe has not yet finished updating. She the goddess of our hope. That light, you mean, that is. It's Mary. The director. This is form of director Ogomari. Again, what of it? She is nothing more than the component whose return you requested. As a comrade of Chaldea, she was treated as an exception, but I have judged any further conversation to be proof. I should dispatch the fancy tree, save her immediately in order to trigger multiple supernova explosions. It will be impossible for you to ship avoid goodbye. That was no supernova explosion. That was. It's not possible. Fantasy is starting to pour forth. Are they servants from the Lostbelt? Indeed, just as Master Yugi trusted and called upon me, was on the side of Chaldea's. They too, who were once enemies, accepted Chaldea's and responded to his call as hero experience. Truly reenactment of the Temple of Time. Unfortunately, it seems I will unable to participate here as well. Makes no sense, just a few servants won't change the situation. No, why in the first place? Why are they attacking the fancy trees? The trees are cornerstones of the Lostbelt. Are they trying to deny their own worlds? I cannot comprehend the significance of their vile emotions. Explain and demand an explanation. The unforgivable choice made when you vow to fight is similar to their action. Therefore, if anyone can explain, it is, why am I being attacked by the human history that I am supposed to protect? Sorry, but that's something you can only get. Sherlock Holmes, if anyone can answer, it is you. I hold the same opinion as Master Yugi. Why should you, the beast of analysis, be seeking the answers from others? Ah, from the bottom of the universe, I'm astonished. Astonished by his stubbornness that refuses to agree even after killing the spark, astonished at the self-satisfied cleverness that keeps you from understanding, despite my efforts. Understand, let us begin in battle, whose outcome is ordained. I said that I don't need substance and I need no outer appearance either. Original Testament universe, 7 trees, fulcrum, release, receiving frozen celestial movements. Permission granted for the swift eradication of intruding entities. My goodness, somehow I managed to win the war of words. I hope this has earned me some breathing room. Holmes, are you right? Is there any part of you injured? Yeah, weren't you on the verge of turning transparent on us? My tenure will be nebulated. Despite your success, it was impossible to miss summoning. That being said, I could at least protect your backs. There is someone else far more suited for the work, it seems. You don't have much time, do you? Cut to the chase. mrfluffey, have you devised any plans to destroy it? Of course. mrfluffey cannot be destroyed, not when she is linked with the universe. Mesiah and the others said this, did they not? But that was because they were unaware of the enemy's identity. For anything unknown, there were no countermeasures. mrfluffey is a lost boat that emerged inside the simulated Earth to become the very universe. So it is not something to defeat, but something to be restored to its original state. mrfluffey is stretching up enormous fantasy trees from within, providing this whole world with support. If we prune these fantasy trees and reverse the flow back into mrfluffey, I believe the skin of that universe will peel away. Return to your mechanism with an actual form, the swirl root replica. Prune those fantasy trees. Yes, the original of the fantasy trees we had been removed. The fantasy tree Orochi, which created the Russian Lostbelt. The fantasy tree Sombrero, which created the Scandinavian Lostbelt. Each of them was linked to their respective Lostbelts, presumably prestige of them to exist even now. What you gained from the Lostbelts, what you saw, all of it preserved. To excise the fantasy trees means complete existence at Lostbelt. The fantasy will never return after being cut out. You will no longer be able to call them. At the same time, they will no longer appear before you. Naturally, I am no exception. That is, however, knowing that you have taken up arms out there, the Lostbelts are tearing down their own histories, and in doing so, using them to tear apart the universe administered by mrfluffey. Yuki Mash, the same goes for you as well. You already know what it means to stop mrfluffey. I do. Once more, I want you to be certain, despite this, will you fight? Yes, we will. We'll take back Panium history. We'll restore the lives of those who have disappeared. We came this far for that purpose. For that, we printed all those Lostbelt histories. This time it is our turn. I cannot decide what is right and what is wrong. But I want to aim for a goal that we can be proud of. A goal that honors those who sent us on this path. Yeah. Yes, of course, it was elementary method. Be that it may, different strength is difficult to overcome. Is there any dramatic boost in power follows? No worries there. Young fool, don't be carried away with grands such as these. You're far too great. No matter, you stay aboard the ship and see those simply your experience. I'll take on a separate course of action. My task has been decided from what we just discussed. Someone is happy done it well. It should be in progress. You all head to your own battle. But yes, Holmes. We call this reenactment in tempo time. I'll give you credit for that statement. King Sol 1. What is it? I already told you everything I needed to. Is there something else? Thank you for all you've done so far. Had a look that seems to imply that his contract ends here. I'm boundless. Curious about how you came to cooperate with him, but I will have to hear that story another day. For now, let's do our own jobs. We will head back to the command deck before anything else. I wish to see the faces of the staff board as well. Mr. Grover from Arenas as technovisor. Yes, no doubt. Everyone feels the same. Oh, but we can't take the route through the primary hatch, so from here we'll have to make our way around the stern. Wait a minute, this is emergency. We're just went from bad to even worse. It detects their great heat source from every direction. It's attacked from Mesiah. 507 in the plasma sphere. Your rivaling gated bands of light are incoming. If you stay there, not even Mash Shield can save you from being vaporized. Hurry and get inside the stern border. It's fun to break through the deck force if you have to. I'll try to catapult lit. Esther, follow me. Senpai? No, we'll be okay. Let's stay out here. I'm looking out at the sky, but what is that light? The localized piercing freedom missed by Spirit's Sherlock Holmes. The damage to 7 troop fulcrum incurred by the smallest defections of Lostbelt servants. Those situations were unexpected. Both of them are merely minor errors. Servants from Panhammer Huser cannot be summoned, and the pre-dawn mist is not lifted. Operation for a simulated universe or slaughter. There is nothing which frightens me. Operation for simulating my new risk solid. There is nothing which threatens me. With that sure, I shall strive for completion. set off a supernova explosion inside a fancy tree, and channeled its energy towards this homeworld. These are so great attacks coming from every direction. We have no means to stop this. Farewell, Novan Company. It is much more regrettable that we could not reach a mutual understanding. The time of birth health. I am a remedy of eternity. The time of coronation health come. I am beginning of eternity. Impossible. 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 Truly impossible. It's beyond comprehension. The beast of 40 has been lost, and its life scale is only 1 out of 72 of the original synchrogram. It's nothing more than a fragment of the dead. Beast 1, so why? Why is such thing even possible? Now is the time, O King, I return you the great works entrusted in your name. Mankind was beyond my reach. The 40 of the beast belongs to where the void ends. Before the attack by Kodiak commenced, destroy it with the greatest firepower you can muster. That coward strategy is far too easy to read. Straightforward is mine takes away. Getting light is my property. I cannot stop it, but if it's only a matter of gathering it, that's my specialty. No, that's not it. This facial incineration for mix. King Solomon first emphasis performed at the temple time. Stop it, that is pure overreach. It's almost act of violence. I cannot approve or understand your actions. It's hideous extreme interference, right, with contradictions. Why do you, a fellow beast, go so far for the sake of the human order? Your mask has come off base, VII. Notice by your current words, you have lost any authority over securing the human order. As said, confirming that is their task. I, however, have my own work. This place is different from the other Lostbelts. As long as human history is being properly managed, the heroic spirits of Penny history should also exist as records. So why can he not summon servants from Penny history? Because you're analyzing and using certain authority. The trait particular to Beast 1 Gate the ability to permit summoning heroic spirits Negasa. Gate is the shadow King Solomon. Their power is stolen from the achievement King Solomon. Negasum is nothing more than part of King Solomon's achievement. That is the case then. You're mistaken. Your actions are decision rid of mistakes. I am well aware, which is precisely why I stand here as King Solomon. Now then, I will dare to speak. As all living beings inevitably compete, history is complete with winner and loser. Our precedent is determined by history's victors. First made correctly, leading to the proper prosperity of human course. The human order designated this as pan-human history and determined the histories of incorrect prosperity to be Lostbelts. But there's no need for elimination, no need to play the victim. If your main answer was to select against weaklings, well, that just means it's your turn to do this. My name is Solomon, possessor of the eye that sees the past and future, and foreseen this end. And I am the one who oversees humankind battle on the other side. Alas, proper answer no longer exists. There are no heroic spirits to protect the human order. You have not a single ally. After all, you are the evil in this universe. However, in a battle for survival itself, neither good nor evil is fated to win. You insist on not giving up. Just like before, even with everything turned back to nothingness, you still insist that your wishes exist. Shout out it to the heavens like a fool, why don't you? Even after you have piled sin upon sin, and burden upon burden. Declare that battle for the hope of humanity has just begun. Farewell, Romani. Ars Nova. The time of having has come. I, he who surrendered will. O Heavenly Father, have mercy on this place. Farewell, Lev. Those lights are... Yes, it would seem so truly a miracle, yet one could also call it a natural outcome. All this is seen brought about your choices, occurring to make sure to take it all in. Taking the end of your stargazer journey, the countless shooting stars shining through the whole cosmos. Now we should head back to the command deck. The view is pleasant, but is a bit dangerous. It was better here. I mean, I should be here. May I ask why? That's my gut feeling. Miss Curelite, could it be that you feel the same? If that's the case, it makes it hard for me to leave here as well. Okay, leave the protecting both of you to me. I'll even show that I can deflect meteorites. I see, then I will depend on you then. Honestly, it will be a great help not to have to walk. Well, there are still safety measures are must. According to my memory, good, there it is. Here's a safety rope for working outside, Mr. Yuki. Be sure to fasten it properly. Now then, can you hear me, Mr. Gordo? I'm reading your audio sensitivity is satisfactory. You went on a very long holiday without permission, but you finally returned to work, you handsome devil. I suppose I'll spare you a cut and pay. That shows up eloquence was rather refreshing indeed. However, this is not the time for celebrating your return. We are well aware of the current situation on our end. Take an advisor, take over. Hey Holmes, how are you feeling? I've never been more perfect over here. We're ready to commit to an all-out attack. The rest is up to you out there. Do you want me to do the final checks with Yuki, or can I leave it to you? Thank you, Da Vinci. I will accept this with all due esteem. Yuki Mesh, staff on the storm border. Right now, in the cosmos, two different forces are converging upon history in Lostbelt. We are fighting to take back the future. They are fighting to take back the past. The truth of the matter is that even if we win, there is no reward. habriiel will have to be part of the place we call home, or more aptly, the neighbors with whom we share joys and sorrows during this journey. The lost Belt Heroes will have to lay rest the history that were proven away, roads that carry their own joys and sorrow. Not to mention, I had called this battle an evenly matched one, but in reality it's 72% pretty against us. The struggle is not hard to imagine. With that in mind, is there no change to this decision? Will we complete this grand order with our own hands? Yes, we will. Very well, from this moment, we shall commence the subjugation of these VII. The enemy is Mesiah. If she should be completed, the new risk update will be accepted. Our remaining time is short. Put all your strength towards cutting down the 7 menacing trees. This is great. They cut down 2 trees already. One and 7. Oh. We took down 7 quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. I wonder is there anything here? Warning. Warning, a hostile object has manifested. Analysis, interior function, autonomous plots confirmed cannot be identified whole structure. Chief Antinous, Orochi, Lostbelt Creation Director, Crease and base on the philosophy of survival of the fittest. Inquires a brutal path to extinction, emulate the hostile object. Yeah, here goes. Oh damn, but I felt that one land. Aha. Sure, it looks totally unharmed to me. Swing at it 10,000 times and something gotta give. We were summoned for this, weren't we? Heads up. My bullets can only intercept so much, so Bayo, I'm counting on you. do the chopping. But it's gonna take a while. We might die, honestly. Perhaps there are others we can count on besides me. Count on, sure. Weren't they our enemy though, if I remember right? What are you doing there, you? Who are you? I got us, I'll ask him, what are you doing there? I was cold. By whom, I wonder? I don't know, but I think this is something bad. I think I have to break it. But I don't know how to break it. I see, then I help you. Come upstairs, show him how it's done. There's two of them. Whoa. Yeah, I can do this somehow. I see, that one is me. Stairs can do it. There's no reason you who are the same as him can't, is there? Me for that, you need one more condition. If he is a hero too, then he'll need a goddess blessing with him. Yes, me, but you do the honors. Of course, hero. What is your name? Minotaurus. I see them Minotaurus. I grant you my blessing. You are a hero, the one who saves the world. Do your best, alright? Gotta thank you. I saw what I can be. I know something's going to end, but even so, it's something I have to do. That's right, we have to do it, even if it tears my heart to shreds. Because it's penance I deserve. Honestly, you're thinking about something difficult again. You're a berserker, wouldn't it be easier just to fight as your heart desires? You have anger, don't you? Not at any one person in particular, not at a servant's either. You're right, I truly hate that world, that Lostbelt. A world where survival of the fittest carved into rules of existence, where the weak can't go on living while remaining weak. I won't forgive it. Wonderful, then we'll help too. In fairy tales, the trees talking is charming, but this tree of emptiness is anything but charming. Warm sunlight filtering through the leaves, shy caterpillars hiding in shade, and lovely butterflies. Cruel perhaps, but nowhere near as cruel as you. You call yourself a tree of emptiness, yet you deny fairy tales as complete as possible. Sorry, but you're going to extend packing. Okay, time to disassemble you. Hey Jack, don't get too far out in front. Nursery, cover her. Let's show this tree of emptiness what it's for. Yeah, I told you he is here. Oh, he's coming. He's coming. Yeah, figures. But the question is whether he's an enemy or ally. It's them. Those slaughter hunters. Okay, history for the tree. Yikes, like ants swarming in. More like army ants. Guess that's what happens when you mobilize that many. Are your servants a proper human history? We are back in Russia. You were our enemy. I see, but that is fine. This time my body has been restored for the purpose of felling the tree of emptiness Orochi. Paul, I permit you to accompany me. Also, you're not on their side. I mean, the slaughter hunters are swarming in, but that tracks, but... So, are you sure about this? About what? You are from the Lostbelt. You're an undeniable servant from that side. If you're felling the tree of emptiness, that means... Yes, you mean to say... It is denial of your world? Yeah. It is coming on strong. Must be the whole Emperor thing. Better cool him down. Hey. Indeed, you're exactly right. However, I bear in anger beyond that. Because of this so-called tree of emptiness, my empire was forced to walk a path of hardship. There were countless bitter decisions. I fought desperate as always how to bring happiness to all my people. And yet, life still slipped through my fingers. My beloved wife, my subordinates, children, above all, countless subjects. I simply can't. I cannot simply write it off as unavoidable. Even so, I resign myself to it as fate. But if that suffering was born to tree of emptiness intent, then it is another matter entirely. I am a man of great faith, but that thing is no good. Yeah. Therefore, there's no reason not to pass sentence and destroy. I will strike this tree of emptiness down with wrath. Alright, I like that. Theo, I'm going with him. Plunder Emperor. From here on out, you're a rebel. I want to do something bad together. Haha, very well. From this moment on, I shall fight as an outlaw. Come, we charge with our body and soul. Okay, then I'm on. So it's just me here. Geez, looks like it's gonna be a pain to chop this thing down. Huh? A wolf, wait. Was it Yaga summoned too? No, wrong. Don't know who you are, but you look like an ally. His name is Lobo, the Wolf King. He's grown somewhat larger though. And riding him is a headless mercenary. Oh, salary, huh? You got something too. Likely due to my ties to Russian Lostbelt. This is something in a form different from my usual. I thought I would never be summoned in this state again. But the Emperor asked me to guide him. For someone like me, he is not a man to be treated lightly or neglected. Haha, I'm not that grand, you know. Now then, my city will guard you from every attack. Cut down this tree of emptiness to your heart content. And I too, though, I am but a mere musician. And precisely because I am but a mere musician, I will hate and overthrow the world that made me abandon music. Yes, let's go. There's Anastasia, though. Oh, Emperor, the Resident Time Empire. So you two have become one who defies the world. I, as well, now fight as a will. An emperor who lays claim to the world, himself without music. But to take on a cruel world, that too is an emperor's duty, I suppose. Yes, exactly. Now we contend with the world itself. Then let me, together with every life I have lost until now, put this world to the question and slay it with my judgment. Very well then, as your senior, I shall support your match. My thanks. Was it? Nothing, honestly. I was thinking I have to throw my life away to make this work. How about arrogance? The ones scattered here are filled with righteous anger. We arrive at the felling point of the tree of Orochi. Alright, Karate Master, made it too. Been a while since the Russian Lostbelt, huh? Let's take this goddamn tree of emptiness down together, you and us. Can I count on you? Of course. Come, let us fight together. I fight with Rav. But what will you fight with? Whatever it may be. I am certain it is just emotion with righteous hurt. Let us smash this tree of emptiness to pieces. What just happened? Okay, somehow we were kicked out to the title screen.
せいぜい楽しむがいいぞ。
元気いっぱいですね。いつか私もこんな風に。いずれあっち見といてくれますか？甘く見ないで。大人になれば BB だって変えられます。私の知恵は世界の隠し。電子局まで落ちてみます？さらわれてください。下がっているように優しいですね。受けるがいい。
立ち上がれ。まだ早い。ここで終わることは許さんぞ。
Alright, that should do it. Master, look! The chair empty his seat has become a wall, blocking our way. A last-ditch struggle. I guess they're planning on stopping us no matter what. Master, grease us with a command spell. We'll pierce through and break on through. Wait, Silver Knight. If you all intend to pierce it and break through, then magnificence was sufficient. You should not be unleashing your full strength here yet. But you are... It is fine, Paladin. It is how it should be. Now my subjects and those who are not, line up behind me. I'll show you my march. Now press on, smash it to pieces. No phantasm. Follow the beast along my retreat. Magnificent. Login complete. Then splendid. Your body. Now that it has been felled, my world will vanish. And if the world vanishes, then I too will vanish. It is only natural nothing to regret. I slew the tree of emptiness with that result. Tell me, monsters of the underground labyrinth, you're the same, aren't you? Yeah, this was something we had to do, even if it's sad, even if it hurts, absolutely. Unitaros. Thank you, Sendo. At the very end, I fought as a hero. Yes, you're my hero after all. Of course you did. My nation was a dead-end world, where the law jungle ran rampant and the snowstorm never ceased. I remember this. No, you needn't remember it at all. I and my world most of it exists and we lived it. If you would only carve that, just that into your heart, then that would be the greatest reward. Farewell, my beloved country, my beloved subjects. Thank you, truly thank you. He's gone. Yes, of all heroes I know, he vanished the fastest. But as long as we bear these spirit origins, I doubt we'll ever forget. Atlanta, it must have been painful for you to rest and not take it slow. When it's you, even I become like a child, I suppose to say. I'll leave the rest to you. I'm going to rest a little. Yeah, how about you? I'm pretty worn out. Looks like this is as far as I can go. It would take some time before I can get up and move, but well, I think I'll manage. Good to hear. I'm rooting for your luck. Hey, I think we did good. Yeah, we did. I see. Yeah, I'm satisfied. Alright, I'll leave the rest to you. Nade, Master Kedo. Go, go, go. Like that Thunder Emperor, like that. Man who kept struggling on, even as everything slipped through his finger. Smash whatever stands in your way and push forward. I guess let's stop here.